Hi everyone, welcome to the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. We've got Julie in the kitchen and technical problems. So it's all been a bit manic, so we're blaming Julie because we've no one else to blame. Because we're not blaming Shelley because Shelley's very stressed. And Laura's not taking any responsibility whatsoever. Nope. So we hope that you've missed us. It feels like we've been away for a very long time, but it is only actually 2 weeks. And in the last 2 weeks we've been very busy. We went to Spain, Laura's been on holiday, I've been on holiday, just got back last night, Julie's arrived today, and the whole madness starts again, and my kitchen feels as though everybody's been in here all day. So I went to Ireland to spend some time with John's family, and it poured down for 2 weeks. Laura, get round here.
No, she can't stand next to me, I'm too white.
Laura went to Cornwall for a week and came back this colour. Could you imagine my face at 6 o'clock this morning when I saw her in the office? I went, so a cracking colour. Anyhow, we have got a fabulous night live tonight. We've got this fabulous lady in the kitchen. She's going to show you so many things. You're going to be completely dizzy. As per usual, we have a wish list on the website, the new website. So let's talk about the new website. Right, the new website came with its issues. We knew that. So, you know, some of you were really good, you worked with it, you understood it. It's like when you get anything new, you know, you've got to read the instructions, you've got to look at it. So, you know, so we've had 2 weeks of help. So while I've been in Ireland, we've been dealing with all the problems and all the issues. And in fairness, the first week, I think Laura nearly went under. It was chaotic. Everybody was ringing the office, but it's calmed down. Everybody's happy. The site, you don't need to cache it anymore. You've got to just recreate your account. That's the only thing. So 2 ladies have fell out with us because they have to recreate their account, which I find really amusing. Sorry ladies if you're watching. But unfortunately we can't take all that information to the new website with us. Lots of new features on the new website, and there's a lot more features are coming as well. But we've not added them yet because we don't want to break things. We want you to get used to this website, and then we're going to add some more features, and then we'll get used to that, and we'll add another feature, and that's how it's going to go. But all the usual stuff's there. We hope that you like it. We've had loads of positive responses, how much easier it is to work, how pretty it is, and hopefully you enjoy it. So, are you looking forward to being in the kitchen?
I am, amazing.
So
amazing.
This wonderful young lady is from Birmingham, so hello you brummies. So is that what you do, up the brums?
I'm not quite sure actually.
Down the brums,
so I
which
would
one
like
is
to
it?
mention my partner Annette and my daughters Bianca, Crystal, Georgia, and my beautiful granddaughter Athara in Spain, and she's watching.
You've got to say hello to them all. Fantastic.
Hi babies.
Hi girls. They're all girls as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
fantastic.
girls.
Good. So I'm going to let Julie do her demo, but before we do that, I just want to tell you about some new things. And I want to remind you some things because we're all back now for our holidays. So let's all get back to caking and baking. So talking about that, we are going to be at Cake and Bake at the end of the month, beginning of October. So we will be there. We'll have a full stand. We're going to have chocolate drip with us. We're going to have fake Cahill with us. We're going to have the Sugar and Crumbs with us. We're going to have Nifty Nozzles with us. We're going to have our fantastic team. Laura's not coming. Because she's going to her brother's wedding.
Yeah, I've got a good excuse.
But still, we're going to have a fantastic team with us. We're going to have a fantastic stand there. Make sure you do come and see us. And that is the weekend of the 3rd of October it starts, doesn't it? I'm a bit confused because I think we have to set off on the 2nd, 1st or 2nd.
Yeah. We have a set-up day and then we have an open.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm a bit confused with all the dates, but it's that first weekend in October, okay? And if you behave yourself, we might even go to Cake International, I'll have to say. So lots of new goodies in the kitchen. On the new website, you can see what's new. I was going to tell you about, look at this. A unicorn.
Adorable.
So this is a table centre unicorn, okay? And the legs come off. Look at that. How cool is that? I don't know why it's cool, but anyhow. Don't know why that's cool. I said to John had this in the car because we blew it up before we went away, and then he put it into his car. And then I said to him, oh God, I need to take that in tonight. So he passed me the legs. I went, what am I going to do with them? You've just broke the unicorn. And he said, no, it comes like that. So there you go. So it all blows up, goes on there. So this has been up 2 weeks, this, in the car. So I think this is fun. Who likes this?
It's adorable.
Cute, isn't she? I presume it's a she.
Yeah.
Well, it could be a boy, isn't it? Boys wear pink as well now. I have no idea what anybody wears anymore. Give up. Right, anyhow, so there you go. So that's the unicorn. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, then we've got loads of new sprinkles. So Julie's eyes lit up with these.
Yeah.
So we've got loads and loads of new sprinkles. So look at all these. Now these are, which camera am I on, Laura? Are we under here?
I'm just going to show them the sprinkles,
right.
yeah.
So loads and loads of sprinkles. This is party mix. These are pearl strands, micro pearls. We've got pinks, whites, blues. Look at that lovely red. How lovely is that for Christmas? We've got the rainbow nonpareils, the party mix there. What else have we got? Golds, look at them.
Lovely.
Okay, now these are, if we go back to this camera, these are all safe for vegetarians, vegan, halal diet, kosher, nut-free, everything. So these are perfect. You can use these, absolutely safe sprinkles. And they're all on the website. They're all in the what's new, they're all on the wash list. I've not got time to go through them all, but make sure you go and have a look. But I know Julie came in and she said, oh, I need some sprinkles. Look at that lovely green. Love that green for Christmas.
Tomorrow.
That green one,
I've got
yeah.
a cake to do tomorrow for Wednesday. Sprinkles,
So
that's great.
yeah, so she's going home with all these. So that lovely green's really nice, isn't it, for Christmassy ones? So, and I'll be using them this week because I'm in the kitchen all this week doing new nifty nozzle pictures. So I've got hundreds of cakes to decorate with some new colours for nifty nozzles. So we're going to do those. We've got the pink boards in. This is your groove board for your veining. This is your little small board for your little flowering. We've got all sorts of things. Flowering. Flowering's not right, is it?
No.
Whatever it is.
No.
Who cares? Too tired. We're late. So, and then what else do I need to tell you about? Cake classes. So the cake season started again. If you want to book on a cake class with us, okay, please ring us, book online. If it's too much for you to pay all at once, call me and I'm happy to do some terms. So I'm happy to take it in 2 payments, and I'm actually happy to take 1 payment now and 1 payment the week after class. Nobody ever does that. I've got spaces on Valerie and Christina's class, Queen of Hearts class. This is one of their classes. This is the this is a cake I did, I think, either last year or the year before, and it's faded now because it's a dummy cake. But this class is on. This is called the stained glass cake, which is fantastic. We've got the beautiful floral cupcakes, and we've got a brand new 2D hand painted cake. We've got Hilary Hurston in October. Fantastic lady. She's going to show you the gilded, it's a big gold gilded cake and a massive big peony on the top. It's beautiful. And of course, we've got Natalie Porter. Where would we be if we didn't have Natalie in? She's in doing her antlers class, which is the big blue class. So if you want to come on those classes and you want to book on, if you want to book on and pay all at once, that's great. If you want to pay in 2 halves, ring Laura, speak to her into the office. We'll take half a payment now and half a payment the month after. And then that way you're spreading it over the next 2 months because we realise we're very close. Okay, you've got that. What else do I need to tell you before we get going? I don't know. I'll start shouting them all out when we get going. So Julie, it's your time to shine.
Thank you.
She's got so many things to show you. She's going to use cake lace, she's going to steam, she's going to model, she's going to do it all.
Oh my
I'll
God.
catch up with you.
Okay.
Right, Julie, get going.
Okay.
Oh, and first of all, tell them about your fabulous group.
Oh yeah.
Tell them how long you've been in the business.
Okay, so I've been making cakes full-time about 9 years. I have a small unit in Birmingham where I don't just make cakes, I supply wedding decor, party decor, etc. And I've got a fabulous subscription group, so if you do want to join it, I will give you details at the end of it. I won't go at the minute. But today, what we're going to be doing, my favourite things are, we're going to do some quilting, we're going to make a bow, we're going to make a baby, we're going to use some cake lace, we're going to fill, frost, ice a cake. We're going to be doing lots of things. We're going to be using smoothers, we're going to be using royal icing, loads and loads of things. Products that I love to use, I'm a Renshaw's fan, so everything that we see today will be Renshaw's. I've been using it about 9 years and I'm a great believer. There's nothing wrong with the icing, it's the person that's doing it. So there's no excuses for elephant skin, whatever you do. So I'm going to start now. Okay, so we're going to be doing a 3-tier cake. I've got a 9, a 7-inch round cake, 3 inches deep, and I've got an oval shaped cake which I'm going to show you in a minute. But before I start that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some cake lace. Now this is a new mat that's just out. It's called the Bonnie Baby Cake Lace Mat. Okay, and I'm going to be using some pearlised lace, which is actually by Cake Lace. I'm just going to put this on now with a smoother, and then it's going to pop in the oven for approximately around about 15 minutes, I think. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so let's get cracking. Any questions along the way, you'll have to fire them out at me, and
we're
there
ready.
we go.
That's
Okay,
fine,
right,
we
let's
will
turn
do.
this round.
So just while you just get set up, I'm going to let Laura shout out a hello to everybody because they've missed us.
Yeah, we've got a massive audience already. We're just under 300 viewers. We've missed you as much as you've missed us. We know you miss us. But yeah, we've got a great audience. And if anyone is new to the Facebook Live tonight, just say hi, introduce yourself. We've got a really friendly community bunch here. And if you've got any questions that are relevant to the live this evening, don't be afraid to ask them. We will try and get around to the questions, but I'm sure you can appreciate, the feed moves very, very quickly. So if we do miss you, we'll try and catch up later on in the week. We do go through the comments and the questions, and I'm sure Julie will as well if you direct anything directly to her, if you've got any questions or anything like that. So just as a very quick recap, like I say, if you are new, anything that happens in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen stays in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. So the cakes are fresh, but they're not for sale. They're not going to be given to anybody unless we're lucky enough to get them out of the kitchen past ourselves, because they normally get eaten
really
first.
nice to me, I might leave it for you.
There we go. Everybody, you heard that. That was live recorded.
It's staying. She's got to get past them electronic gates.
Yeah, they won't let me out. They've got to keep that me.
So yeah, don't be worried about hair being down or anyone touching their face or anything like that. It really is. It is up. Don't worry. But yeah, you really don't need to worry about anything like that. It is all in a personal kitchen, and like I say, it's just a personal consumption.
All right, I haven't decided quite which one I'm going to
Got to
use.
laugh at
I've
Karen
actually
Place. Just let me say,
Sorry.
I thought it was funny you said we're going to be making a baby tonight. And Karen Place says, I hope it's under 9 p.m.
Oh God!
I was going to make a comment myself.
Not me.
I picked up on it. I thought, right, okay then.
A slip of the tongue, slip of the tongue. Right, okay, I haven't quite decided which one I'm going to use, but whatever which one I decide to use, there's teddies, there's bells and rattles and teddies, and there's prams. I'll have to do a couple of these anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll get the first one in the oven, and then once we've got this in the oven, we're going to make the baby out of icing,
Right.
everybody.
Well, before you do that, just tell us exactly what you've done there, because we were that busy talking.
So basically all I've done there is I've actually just placed the cake lace into the mat, and there's actually there's 6 designs on here. I've put 3 of them. I think I'm going to use the teddy one, but I've actually put the cake lace in 3 of them. So you don't need to put all of that in, obviously, because it's a waste. Depending on also looking at the cake lace mat, some of them are deeper than others, so some of them are taken longer to actually harden up before than others, because obviously some of them are not as deep. So I've tried to use the ones that are not as deep, so it will have an even heat on it. So I'm going to place those in the oven for approximately about 15 minutes. We'll have a look in 15 minutes time, and then I'll show you what to do, how to take the cake lace out in a minute, and then we'll do it all over again.
Right, yeah, because when we do it all over again, we'll do it slower and show them.
Okay.
Because cake lace is one of those things that I either am successful or not.
Yeah,
So,
well, I will be honest, this is a brand new mat out, so I've not used this one myself actually. I only took out the wrapper yesterday. So, but sometimes, you know, people do have trouble with cake lace, and if you do have trouble, there's nothing wrong with actually putting another layer on top.
I've heard that.
So put it in the oven for about 10 minutes and then take it back out again. You can leave them to dry overnight, because obviously we're on a time scale tonight. You can put them in the oven, but what you also must remember is that don't put it on a heat. It is only to warm it, okay? Because if you put it at heat, you're going to have a melted mat.
Yeah.
So I normally put cake lace on at about 80 degrees.
Right, when you say 80, mine's a fan assisted oven.
Yeah, mine's fan, 80
Right, good.
degrees.
It was on 80
Yeah,
then.
yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pop that in the oven.
Yeah.
Are you alright?
Yep, super duper.
Which one is it? This one?
That first one.
She says this when actually this is on quite warm, Carol.
I know, well, I was thinking that.
I think this is on too warm. It's on 120. You did.
Oh my god, 80's up there.
Yeah. I think it's a bit hot to go in. Right. Should we just leave that on
I
the
didn't
side?
realise 80 was the first button.
Yeah, I think that's a bit hot.
Yeah.
And I won't have any lace mat left.
Let me turn this oven on.
Okay, so it's not going in the oven at the minute because Carol has actually put the lace on it.
How long do you want it in there? How long do you want it to warm up for?
Just 5 minutes or something
Right, I'll
like
stick
that.
it in this oven.
Otherwise we won't have a lace mat at all. It'll be cooked. Okay, so let's just
Could
put
get
this
worse.
away.
You could ask me to make ganache and then we have problems.
Right, okay. If we can just get a cloth as well, so I can just put this off, please.
So we've got a brilliant audience. We're now over 300. We've got loads of people saying that they're looking forward to watch what you are making this evening. I know we are going to pack absolutely loads in. We're making the most of Julie while she's here.
She was foolish enough to say she'll come back.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We've got a book in. Save the date. Right.
I've got a couple of people saying hello. So I've got Julie Davis saying hi. I've got Elaine Wall. I've got your daughter Bianca.
Hello, Bianca, my baby girl.
Maureen Bailey, Carol Thoburn. She says no swearing, Julie.
Me? No, never. Never.
Chris Greatbanks, Vicky Buffin. So yeah, we've got lots of people watching us tonight, and I think we've got a couple of newbies as well.
We've got a new lady who's become addicted. I just saw her.
Just seen that, yeah, Jamie Lee Merry.
Yeah.
I'm
She's
new and I love this company. I'm sorry, I've just missed the post. Become really addicted. I have to hide my phone from my husband.
Right, Jules, do you want me to put this in the oven now?
Yes, please, if you would, yeah. So what I'm using now is I've got Saraceno pasta modelling paste. Okay, this is skin colour, and you can just take it straight out the pot. It's brilliant to use, and you need to just knead it together so it's nice and smooth. And then what I'm going to do is I've actually got a Karen Davis mould here. I think these are the best moulds for a baby. Okay, they're perfect size and the detail on them is phenomenal. And then we're going to be using the pillow as well here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that into the mould. I'm going to do both sides. And I'm not going to do the pillow now because I want it to be a bit flexible. Although Saraceno it does stay quite flexible for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to roll this up like this.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm just trying to get a bottle of water out.
And we're literally just going to
Yes,
place
you
it
know
into the
it.
mould like this. Okay, now I've actually put too much in there, but never mind, that doesn't matter.
Jules, just bring that mould more into the centre
Yes,
for me.
alright.
That's fine.
You need to be
Perfect.
just right under the
That's
camera
it.
in front of you,
Just
Jules.
there.
Yeah,
okay.
perfect.
Got a sharp knife. Actually, I can use this. Okay, I've got my lovely little spatula, one of my favourites.
That is a knife that everybody needs to have.
Yeah,
it's
it
so
is
useful for
it is an
everything.
essential.
So while Jules is cutting this with a palette knife, you must never bring a sharp knife to your moulds. Okay, it's so easy to use a craft knife or something else, but don't use it on your moulds. Always use a palette knife or a bluntish knife, but this little gizmo is fantastic.
I always think that the three tools that you need and most necessity are your little palette knife, a Schreiber pin, and my little, where's it gone?
Interchangeable head thing.
Yeah, my knife, my little, oh my goodness,
Your craft
my
knife.
life is going to end without
Craft
it.
knife.
Yeah,
Knife,
it
is there?
is. Oh,
It
the
was
little
there.
blade, the blade one.
Yeah, it was there.
Oh well, it's disappeared now.
We probably
Anyway,
can't see it for looking.
well, we'll need it at some point. So I'm just going to cut this off. Just bring it all into the middle. I have actually put Trex in the mould just for reference, so you know. It makes it a bit easier for it to come out. Okay, and just smooth that out there. Okay, and I'm going to do the other side. I did actually put the Trex in before we actually started, so just for reference, you put a bit of Trex in. You can also put a little bit of Trex and corn flour in. I normally find that Trex, it works brilliantly, so I'm just going to put that in the other side here. It's disappeared. Oh my god, my life is going to come to an end.
It'd be right under our nose.
Yeah, it will be here somewhere because I did have it,
Yeah.
and I will need it at some point. Okay, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave them for a few minutes in there, and then I'm going to come back to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually frost one of the cakes, and when I come back, I'm going to actually take that out the mould. So I'm just going to put that to a side for a minute and put this away. I don't know where it's gone, Carol.
No, it was here. It hasn't gone down on the side of the thing.
Okay. All right. With regards to the cakes, then. Aha, you see.
There you go.
Let's put that away.
Right next to that thing. What's that thing? What's this?
I'll just leave it over there. Okay, right. So the cakes that we're going to be doing today, I've got a 9-inch round, a 7-inch round.
It was a radio.
And I've got a little oval cake shaped cake, okay, and that is what we're going to make our cradle from. Okay, I haven't quite decided what we're going to do with regards to which way of order, but we are going to be doing some quilting, and as I say, we're going to be doing a lace. I'm going to show you how to make a bow as well. So, just a little trick of mine that I've always used, and the girls that are on my subscription group, just little things like this are really, really helpful. So when before I bake a cake, I always line my tins round the side and at the bottom. And what I normally do is I normally leave a little gap there, just in the side there. And what that does is when you take the lining off, if you can see, it actually marks your cake.
Ah.
Okay, so you see there's a little line on the cake there.
Underneath there on that camera.
So you can see there. All right, and what that enables you to do is when you cut it in half, you haven't got to worry about actually lining it up because there's a little mark on your cake, and that's just a little tip that I've done. I don't know, I don't even know where I got it from. It's just something that I've done always. Okay, just as important to the top of the cake being straight, your bottom of your cake is really important. Am I looking at the right place?
Me.
Here.
You always look at Laura.
Look at me.
But you show under there.
Okay, so this is the bottom of the cake, and when the cake was baked, it would have risen up like this, and then I cut it across in my tin. I always cut my cakes warm. As soon as they come out, I cut it across and I put it out onto a cooling rack. Okay, but as you can see, the edges are not quite straight there. So I have got, I love knives, a nice PME knife which I'm going to use, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off the shavings of the cake there, but watch you don't cut your hands, mind. Okay.
You won't need to film that.
And that will just flatten off the bottom of your cake. Okay. Alright, and I'm going to do that on all three of the cakes, so we'll start with that one first, and then we'll do this one. Okay, again you can see the gap in the lining there, so I'm going to take that away.
Can you just turn the gap round to that camera that's on your side?
Yep, there we go.
That's it, perfect.
You see it there?
Thank you.
Alright. Okay. And if anybody's wondering about what the little hole in the middle of this cake is actually a heating core that I've used.
Did you use one of them?
Yeah, anything 9 inches or above, well, yeah, 9 inches or above, I normally put a heating core in. And what a heating core does is it helps to distribute the heat evenly, so you get a nice even bake all the way through. Especially if you're baking deeper cakes like 4-inch cakes or 5-inch cakes, it really is a necessity, I think, to use a heating core. So although they're not that, you could say, oh well, there's not that much difference in the cake at the bottom. I really can't stress enough that that is a real necessity to do, because like I say, if the bottom of your cake isn't even, your top of your cake's not going to be even. And when it's not so bad if you're just doing a single tier, but if you're doing stacking a cake like I'm going to do, if it's not even at the bottom, you've got no chance of it being even at the top. Okay, so we're going to do that one.
I never even knew they were not even at the bottom.
It's just as the way they've been cut.
I was going to say, if you think about it, it's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, and even on my little
I
oval.
like the rustic look, me. Slap them together. Hey?
So-
Slap them together. There you go,
Even
girls.
on my little oval cake, which we're going to make into a crib. Okay, I've even done it there. You can see there. You see where I've
Right.
there. Okay.
Keep still
Stop.
when you show it.
Stop.
And
Stop.
you've got to give it 10 seconds on each
Give me
camera.
a few seconds
Okay,
to
you
get on
can-
the right
you-
Under
camera.
that camera.
You can see that it doesn't really matter. That this
Julie.
one here-
No, here.
Stop.
Stop. Stop.
Stay still.
Just stop.
Crikey, she's like the dancing queen.
Tell me about it.
Just stay still. We're
Stop.
guided.
I'm doing
Stay
it
under
slow.
this camera.
Okay, I'm on slow.
Crikey, I'm dizzy me. This is what's been like trying to be here an hour.
Oh dear.
I'm going for a lie down after. Might go for a lie down.
I'm not going to drive back. Right, okay,
Right.
so
And
the
is that
last
under
one.
this camera?
Yeah, well, I'm on it,
Yeah.
don't worry. I'm on
Okay,
it.
so for the last one, so we're all done now. So those 3 cakes there are all level at the bottom. Okay, let's get rid of some of these crumbs. Have we got? Where's the bin?
There's a bin behind you, Shelley. Just
Can
grab
I
the
just
bin.
have that down here?
Yeah, you can.
It's handy.
Throw everything in there.
Okay, great stuff. All right, okay, before we start, okay, what I'm going to do is I've got boards, cake boards, or what they call stacking boards for each of these. So I've got a 7-inch that's going to go under there, and I've got, could you just pass us that, Carol, the 9-inch board under there.
And just to let you know, we're on over 400 people watching.
Well done. Brilliant.
So we've got a great audience. 400 people, Laura, on our first Monday
Fabulous.
back. How good is
Told
that?
you they'd
It's
missed us.
because it's me doing
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a 9-inch stacking board and I've got a 7-inch stacking board. Now, unfortunately, boards don't come in this shape. So, Carol has nicely supplied me with a little round board, which I'm going to cut. Okay, and this is where my knife comes in handy. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut round there like that. Am I under the camera?
Yep.
Right, Jules, Shelley's going to start muzzling in over your shoulder now.
If she don't start breathing heavy, I'm all right. Okay.
And Louise O'Rourke says, it's so fast that she might have to slow down the video as well. Right.
My group do tell me that I am quite quick at working. So, and although I've done lots of live tutorials in the past, I actually feel a little bit nervous, but I'm sure I'll calm down.
You're fine, don't worry.
Everybody's nervous when they come in here, so don't worry.
Right, so I'm just cutting this. Okay.
Shelley and Laura's still nervous. Laura's been here 2 years.
No. It was my 2 year last week.
Is it? It was your anniversary where you were on holiday. Oh.
Happy anniversary.
We're going to get her on demos. If she doesn't, she might not last another year.
Okay, there we go. All right, that's brilliant. I'll
Good,
just
good.
put that in the bin there. Okay, so that's going to be our board for our crib. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start by actually making the crib first. And
just let me ask, how long do you need it in the oven? 825 it went in.
around about 15 minutes, I think would be fine for that.
We're about 12, I think,
Okay.
then.
Yeah, we'll check it in a few minutes. All right, and I'm going to take those babies out as well in a minute, so we'll do that in a minute. Right, before we start, okay, on the rest of the cakes, what I've got here is I've got an oval, and it is this size, approximately about 5.5 inches long. Okay. Now, normally, well, you'll see when I do the other cakes, I won't actually take the lining off the top of the cake, and I do that for a reason, which I will come to that in a minute. But with this one, I'm going to take it off straight away, and the reason why I'm going to take it off is because I want to cut a little hole in there. Right. Okay, so, you know, when I'm at work, I have my bin to my right.
Well, take the bin to the right then.
So keep going to put it to the right.
Because I'm not dizzy dancing around here. Well, poor Shelley doesn't know where she's going anymore.
Okay, so I've got a PME overcutter here, which are brilliant. Okay, and literally I'm just going to put it into the cake there, and I'm just going to press down. Okay, and then with my little knife, my little spatula, going back to it, I'm literally going to cut on the inside, try and do an even cut, i.e. the depth. Okay, and then if you push it down a bit more, it'll go in further, and I want it to be the depth of the cutter. Okay, so now my cutter is actually level with the cake now. All right, so before I take the cutter off, I'm just literally going to go in, and I'm going to take this cake away. And I can't stress enough how much you should have one of these. You need one of these, girls, because I think they're...
Just show it slowly under that camera.
Yeah, this one here. So
Yeah,
PME.
that's it.
Yeah, just hold
Okay.
it. Yeah.
And I'm just going to cut this out until I get it even. Now, it's not even at the minute, but it will be. Okay, and I'm going to cut it to the depth of where the cutter finishes. And the reason why I'm keeping this cutter in is because it's holding the outside of the cake. So all of a sudden we've got an outer that is quite fragile. So I'm just going to leave that there a minute, and it'll just provide it some stability. And in the meantime, we're just going to pick out this sponge here.
So a few people are just asking what we're going to make tonight. We're making a 3-tier cake, and one of them is actually going to be a baby's cot. Jules is going to use the dragé kit. She's going to use Patchwork Cutters quilting set. You can also use Katie Sue quilting mold if you prefer to use that. We're going to make swags and bows. We're using cake lace. Lots of skills here tonight. So lots of things. We won't be repeating anything. We're just going to try and show you.
Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just pressing the sponge down so it's nice and even. Okay, and now I'm going to remove that. And there we've got, that is where the baby is going to lie. Okay.
Ah, very good.
Right. Okay.
I thought you was going to cut all the way around that and make a smaller oval for some reason.
No.
Right.
Right. If anybody else was here, they'd be going, save the crumbs for me.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that. I didn't even get the
They were
opportunity to get a crumb
crumbs
then.
you would have got
Did you?
then.
Did you See that? And we never got a crumb then. That was
You
it.
can get
Gone,
them in
wasn't
the
it?
bin if you want.
Right, that'd be good for my diet. That. Stick them in the bin before I've even had a chance to have a sniff
Okay,
on.
so what we're going to do now is we're going to cut this in half. I'll use the buttercream that you've made, Carol.
Strawberry milkshake.
So we're going to be using strawberry milkshake buttercream. Okay, so I'm going to use my cutter, wherever it is. Okay. Alright, and I'm literally going to cut this in half, okay? So with your hand just at the back there, just literally going to go along there and cut it in half, okay? And there we go. Alright,
Fantastic. What about your cake lace?
we'll have a look at the cake lace. We're in a different oven now. Okay, that's come off, that's fab. Alright, if I can just move this out of the way, I will bring it in, but I'll have to clear the surface off.
Yeah. Do you want me to clear the surface off
So
for you?
it's actually come off right off. So maybe that was a bit too long, but it has come off really, really easy. So if I just clean the surface off and I'll show you. Right, just a tip for you, whenever you take cake lace out the oven, especially the pearlised lace, it's quite brittle. So you must let it come back to room temperature. If you don't let it come back to room temperature, as soon as you start moving it or messing it, it will break. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that for a few minutes, and when that has cooled down and come back to room temperature, I'm going to bring it in and I'll show it to you. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to frost this little crib. So, Carol, is this mine?
It's yours. I've taken it off the mixer so you can bring it over.
Okay, great.
And don't forget you got your jam there.
Okay, lovely. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to put a little bit of buttercream just at the bottom here, and we're just going to place that onto there. All right. I'm just going to put that onto there. Now, I'd actually like to have a bit of water next to me, which I have got somewhere. Oh yeah, it's there. Okay, just in case sometimes it might be a bit, you know, depending on what your room temperature's like, and your buttercream might be a bit hard, or just to smooth it out. I like to have some water next to me because I just think that it just makes it easier. And when I'm frosting, I always frost right to the edges, so you've got a bit hanging over the sides. Now, if we go back to where we was when we took the lining off, we've got a little hole, a little line, sorry, there, and that's how I know which end to join up, because we've got one there and we've got one there, okay? And we're just going to place that. I'm not going to put jam in this one. I'm going to do it in the other ones, okay? Because it's only a little cake and I think it'll be okay as it is. All right, so then what we're going to do is I'm pressing down very, very gently, because you've got to remember, in fact, I'm going to put that back in there just to give it some stability. What you've got to remember is that these outsides are quite fragile.
Do you want a turntable?
No, I'm all right. Okay, and I'm just literally gonna. I'm short as it is.
Yeah,
I can't reach as it is. If I'm a turntable, I won't be able to see it. I won't be able to do it like Okay, so I'm just gonna frost this cake all the way around, using my water to smooth it out. And the bits that have come out the sides, use that to cover in the gaps. Okay, I see a lot of people that have got massive bulges in cakes. One of the reasons is because you've put too much cream in.
Yeah.
And the second reason is because you're not utilising the bit that comes out to actually fill the gap in. So I always press down like that, very, very lightly. I'm going to do it a lot more firmer on the other cakes, but I'm just being a bit more careful with this because we've got a very fragile edge on here. And I'm just going to frost all the way down, including the top when I get round to it. So I'm just going to go round like this, all the way round. Oh, it's going everywhere, Carol.
They're saying I should be getting you a box to stand on. Would you like one?
You're funny, you are.
These lot on here, give her a step, give her a box.
Yeah, a
Lift
little.
her up.
What if I put on a fag end?
That side, maybe.
Yeah.
Thank you, sorry.
She's in my way. I think she wants to film me. Right, okay. So I'm just going to smooth that round with a bit of water.
That's a good idea, that, you know, I like that idea.
And it just
Yeah,
helps
I do.
to smooth it out a lot more easier. Okay, now I'm going to take this off.
Do you know what? We have so many guests on here with all different ideas. And you do try, and you just got to find the one that suits you, haven't you?
Yeah.
But I like that idea.
And what you find when you've got a bare sponge like this, the sponge will drag.
Yeah.
So with the water, that helps to like
Push it down.
To push it down, and you're not dragging the sponge up.
Yeah.
If I just did that with butter icing, the sponge would start lifting onto the
well, it
palette
does,
knife.
yeah.
So it's just little tips that I've picked up over the time I've been making cakes. I've never had any lessons. I'm self-taught, and I wish that there was lots of people like you about when I started. Because,
Thanks very much, Julie. That's very nice of you.
Because it is difficult.
I think lots of people like us as well.
Well, I
I'm
think
fishing
so.
for compliments, everybody. That's what it means. When I give you the cue, that's when you put your thumbs up and tell us how much you love us.
Because cake making is a very lonely job.
It is.
And you know, when you're out there,
I think it sends women mad.
Yeah, well, I was mad before. I'm even worse now. But when you're on your own working and something does go wrong, it's nice to have somebody just to, like, you know, not necessarily pick up the phone or drop a message. I know my girls on my group, they message me all the time.
Have we got both your girls watching? We've got Bianca, Jade here now.
Yeah, Bianca was watching before.
Georgia.
See how my group behave themselves. Look at that. Gave them the hint, the thumbs up and the love hearts are coming. There you go. That's what we like.
I'm jealous now. I want some
Look
love
at
hearts.
them. Look, they're all going there.
Okay, right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that one to the side. And while we've got so much mess out, I am actually going to frost the other cakes. We might as well. And then what we'll do is we'll clear up and then we'll start icing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to put that one to the side. In fact, no, you wanted to see the lace, didn't you? So we'll just clear up
Do you want to
first.
go? Well, we can do the lace after. It's fine.
I know, but I need to get some more in.
Oh, okay. Clear
I'll
up.
just put that in there.
Yep, so while she's clearing up, I'm so pleased to see so many of you back. It's been fantastic. And I'm so pleased that you love our Facebook Lives. It's great. So as Laura says, if you are new to watching our Facebook Lives, we call it light entertainment. So basically, we're educating you. You know what, we have lots of different tutors in all the time. They all have different ways of doing their own things. I'm a great believer. Pick up the tips and use what works for you. We're not asking you to change your mind. We're just asking you to have a look at things different ways. And that's what this live's about. And it's about having a laugh. We don't want to be boring. We don't want to be... I'm actually not going to say it. I was going to say finger up my bum then. But I don't want to be snooty, okay? What we want to do is have a really good laugh, and that's why we get some great guests on. And you know, we've never had a bad guest. We've never had a bad guest. Every guest that's come on, every guest that's come on Sugar and Crumbs has been great. Laura, do we got this one?
Okay, so this has come back to room temperature. Now, the only thing with the pearlised lace is that it does get quite brittle, and I can't stress enough that you must not mess with it until it cools down. Because
Right, well that's interesting because I've taken it out of the oven and messed with it straight away.
Yeah. But if you actually tried to put this round your cake when it was warm, okay, it would break. As you can see, it's nice and flexible now, and we are actually going to steam that on later. And I do quite fancy the teddy bear, so I
that's
think
really cute, isn't
what
it?
we're going to do is
just hold it still under there, just so they can see. Just take. So, yeah. And what else have we got there?
So I've actually done this one here, this other border as well, which is rattles and teddy bears, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got baby's feet on as well, which is really, really nice. And the other one that I did, although I think Carol's actually ruined this one because she put her hands in it. Look, because it's broken. But it is. Look how fabulous that is. Look at the detail on that. Okay, so you've got teddies, rattles, and prams. And if it was intact, we possibly could have used that. But I think Carol's been a bit brutal with it actually when she took it out.
How long's she been here? How long's she been here?
She said she was coming back, but I'm not so sure now.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this lace to the side, okay, and I'm going to put some more in, but I do think that maybe a little less time this time, because I've not used this lace mask, so about 12 minutes I think should be fine.
Okay, so if we take that off, and then can we just do it slower when you put it on?
Slower. So I'm just going to move this out the way.
Yeah, so the lives are just great fun. It's educational. It's about having fun. It's about joining in. We're not interested in anybody who's going to be negative. If you're going to be negative, go and buzz off to another group. There's plenty of negative groups out there. We only like the fun people who are enjoying the live, okay? And all we want you to do is get some inspiration, learn some new tips. If you use them, great. If you don't use them, and of course everything that we use is on our website, and we are promoting our website. That's why we do these lives. We do them so that we can show you products before you decide to buy. So I'm just going to shut up while Julie does this.
Okay, I'm going to go in slow-mo now. Right, I'm going to go. slow for Carol.
Oh, let me tell you this.
She's stressed.
Trish Collins says, so good to be back. I've just got rid of the husband as he was waiting for the baby making bit. He's disappointed. It was sugar.
Right. I haven't quite decided which one I'm going to use, so I think I'm going to do the two. So I'm going to do the teddy and feet and the rattles, and I'm going to do the teddy and the rattles, but I think the teddy and the rattles is going to be the winner.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do these two. As I say, you don't need to do the whole mat.
And how much should you put on there, Julie?
Just literally scrape it in and scrape it off. What you don't want is, if you can see there in the camera, there's like little holes there, just there. So you need to cover them all up so it is completely covered. Now, I'm no expert on lace, but I have used a lot of lace, and it all depends. It's a case of trial and error. Depends on how deep the imprint is.
Yeah.
If you look at the little feet there, that would take a lot longer than the rest of this. But this is a really nice fine mat. So, as I say, I think around about, I think this time, although it's fine, it was a bit crispy when it come out, but I think around about 12 minutes for this on 80 degrees would be ample.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I find that I'm hit and miss. I only had a go at lace about 5-6 years ago first, when I first started Sugar and Crumbs. I had a go and I wrecked it all the first night, and I put it away and I never got it out again.
Oh no, it's fabulous.
And I've never got it out again. And the lady who watches us, she said, do you do any cake lace lessons? And I said, no. So she said, oh, I really want a cake lace lesson. I said, I'll tell you what, come up for the day and we'll have a play together.
That's the best way of doing it though, sometimes, isn't it? When there's no pressure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm quite addicted to lace. I've only got 75 lace mats.
Have you?
Oh my God!
And the girls that are in my group, they do know that whatever comes out, me Julie has to have it. I have to have every single lace mat. And I only noticed this last week, and I went, I've got to have it, and I'm going to take it up to show Carol, but you've already got it anyway. So, but I didn't know this one was out. So this is going to go in the oven for approximately 12 minutes on 80 degrees, guys.
Yeah, so in case you didn't hear, it's going in the oven for 12 minutes on 80 degrees.
Okay.
Right. Is that bit there getting on your nerves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, before we move on, so someone's just said, do you pop it on a tray or straight onto the
straight
oven
on, straight onto
the
the
rack?
oven rack, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I nearly forgot about my little babies. Okay, so I'm going to actually just push these out the mould now. Okay.
So let me just tell you, the tool that Jules was using.
I need you to come forward, sorry. Yeah.
And don't put your head under the camera.
Sorry, they don't want to come out now because I forgot all about the babies. It's a good job they're not real. They'll be crying now. Right, okay, come on. There we go. All right, so we're getting the face out here, the face side. It comes in two
It's like
halves.
delivering a baby, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard work.
She's coming, she's dead
oh my God,
first.
it's here. It's arrived.
Oh.
Right, okay. The legs are stuck. Don't start me off, because if you start me off, I won't be able to see you. I'm just tired for Okay, so as you can see, look. Oh.
Caroline Thornton, it's a girl.
Okay, as you can see, the detail on these is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so this is a Karen Davis mould. I say we're going to use the pillar at a later date, and basically two halves. Okay, but we need to put it together.
Richard Crumpton said, it's twins. No, Richard, it's not. You're going to put it together.
With Saraceno being quite a moist modelling paste, I don't normally use glue, to be fair, although you can use a little bit of glue. And just literally, what we're going to do is we're going to try and get rid of all that join there. Yeah. I'm going to stroke her bottom, put it to sleep, and then we're just going to push it together there. And we might even put a nappy on her or a frilly pants on at a later date. Alright, so we're just going to push that there. Alright, and we'll give her some detail later, maybe give her some eyes and some nice pink cheeks and some lips. Alright, but basically you're not actually going to see, you're only going to see this bit here, because it's actually going to be in the crib and the head's going to be on the pillow.
Right.
And then we're going to cover this bit up. So I very likely won't put any clothes on her actually. She'll be a naked baby. She's going to go under a quilt, okay. So we're just going to put that to one side, okay, and we'll come back to her later. All right, and now we're going to crack on with the other two cakes.
Super.
Okay, so we cut our bottoms earlier. We did good. You laughing? You're laughing in the corner there.
Bottoms.
Oh, you always have to cut your bottoms. Okay, and again, just holding your hand at the other side. Oh dear. I'm not used to working in such a small surface. I've normally got like loads and loads of room. It's making me stay tidy. She's saying, is this tidy? Okay, and the other side, the same. Holding your hand there, and I'm holding my hand there for a reason, so it doesn't pull the sponge and drag. Okay, so I'm just going to put that to one side. All right. Okay.
So just while Julie's telling you about doing the next cake, the spreader is a cake lace spreader, and I've got to be honest, I didn't put it on the wish list. I didn't even think about it. So if you go to brands, or if you go to the search button, if you go to the search button and put cake lace spreader, I think it's called. Is it called spreader? I don't know.
I'll check.
But if you go to actual brands cake lace, it will actually be there, and I'll pop it in the wish list afterwards. Sorry, Jules, I'll let you carry on.
Okay, the reason why I've got a gap there is because this board that they've given me to work on is not big enough. Okay, so it slipped off the board.
Who gave you that board?
You give me this board. I need a big board. I need
Ah,
a whole
right,
surface.
I'm sorry.
So my cutout, basically, it shouldn't be like that, but it doesn't matter. We'll just cover it up. I'm only joking. I'm a bit, try and be a bit of a joke.
Yeah, yeah. No worries. No, do you know what I was thinking? The cake board. I was thinking, I don't remember giving you a cake board. Just talking about the green board.
No, the
aren't
green
you?
board, yeah, because I actually work on stainless steel tables, so.
Ah, right,
it's
yeah.
it's
See, the
very
thing
new
is,
to me.
the reason we have the green board is we can't have the white worktop.
Right.
Because it's sparkling, it reflects back.
Well, that's because you're posh.
It was a good idea having a lovely, nice white worktop.
Just a posh bird.
But then it causes other problems when we're filming.
Okay, so when you're putting your buttercream on, all right, you know, don't be a Scrooge. You know, you need to put quite a bit on, but don't put too much on.
Are you
all
putting
right?
jam on? Are you?
I am going to put jam on in a minute, but I never put jam on top of there.
Do you not?
No, I never put jam on top of there. And the reason why I don't put jam on top of there is if you put jam on the top, as well as the buttercream splurging out the sides, the jam will. So we're going to move that round and we're going to turn that upside down. And I
Right.
always put jam on there.
And why would it not splurge out then?
I don't
Right,
know.
it's called a cake lace spreading knife. It's $5.99, and I will put it in the wish list later. But otherwise, if you just go to brands, it's actually on brands, and it's a spreading knife if you want to use the search button. So how come if you just turned it upside down?
So I've turned it upside down, and what's happening is the flavour of the jam now is sinking into the sponge. Okay, and the jam is going to sink into there. So when I turn it over, and I don't always put, like I put the buttercream going right to the edge, I don't actually put the jam, so that's right over the edge either. But I always find that if you actually put it onto the cream, when you press your cake down, it all comes out the sides, and then when you're frosting jam as well, and you don't really want to
No,
do
it's
that.
true.
So I always do it like this. It's tried and tested, hundreds and hundreds of cakes, and it's me Julie way. Okay, all right, going back to my little tip that I showed you in the beginning, I'm just going to move that more central to the board, and there's my line net there, look, can you see?
No.
No, because
Can't
she showed you.
Right, okay. There.
The camera's
Show,
there.
show me on this one.
This
Right.
one here.
Julie, this camera.
Oh, that one there.
Just stay still.
I didn't even know there was a camera that one.
We've got you all ways, Jules.
Right.
Eh? We've got one underneath as well, looking up.
Where are we? There.
Stop. Where do you want to be? Stop.
Can you just
stop?
stop moving? We've
And
got
I'll
it
come
give.
to you. Stop.
Stop.
We're good.
We want
There.
10 seconds.
Still preferably, but yes, we've got the line.
You got the line.
We've got the
So
line.
now I'm going to turn it back round the right way round. Okay. And this is the reason why I never took this off here.
Right, there's a lady asking a question. Don't
Yeah.
you sugar soak layers first?
No, never.
No. I think you only really need to sugar soak layers, and I'm probably going to get my arse kicked for this one. So if your cake's dry. But, but if your cake's a moist cake, you don't need to sugar soak it, do you?
Okay, so I've lined it up there, and the reason, going back to the reason why I never took the lining off in the beginning, if I take the lining off, when I press down like that, I'm going to start pressing into the cake.
Yeah.
Okay, if you leave the lining on top, and this is just a little tip, and I do think it works, okay, if you just leave the lining on top, it enables you to press it down without actually damaging the cake. Okay, I actually use a spirit level for
I
all
like
of my
that
little
idea.
cakes. Okay, and have a little spirit level. And I don't think Carol sells these, but there you go.
No.
Okay.
Put it down to B&Q.
Okay, a little spirit level. All right, and now it's at this point. In fact, no, it's not at this point. When I've frosted the sides, I will then take it off. So, pressing down, all this buttercream that I've got too much of is now coming out the sides, and I'm utilising that to cover the gap. Okay?
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm taking more, and I'm just going to go around. Now, I know somebody's going to ask, why don't you do one layer and put it in the fridge? I don't do that. I just crumb coat straight away, and I'm going to ice it straight away.
Right.
Okay.
That's good. I've got to be honest, if on a cool night like tonight, I would do that as well. In the summer, I would put it in the fridge only because, but I think I actually put a lot more buttercream on than you as well. You don't put a lot of buttercream on, do you?
And also, the other thing is, I and the girls that are on my group know, I have got a real issue with cakes in fridges. I don't mind putting cakes in the fridges for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but people that leave cakes in the fridge, as far as I'm concerned, are waiting for an accident to happen. And the reason...
Jules.
No, seriously.
Seriously not.
I do say
Seriously
that.
not.
I do say that.
Seriously
No.
Right,
And I'll
okay.
tell you why. Hang on a minute.
No.
I'm going to win this
Seriously
argument.
not.
Right, if you're in a hot country, Carol,
Yeah.
and you're in a cold room,
Yeah.
air-conned room, what happens when you go into the heat? What happens when you've been in an air-con room and then you go into the heat? What happens?
Sweat.
You
Yeah.
sweat.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens to the cake?
Well, mine never has.
Mine neither, to be fair.
Sorry, Jules.
Yeah.
I'm not going to agree with you on that one. And the reason I'm not going to agree with you because I've never had a problem. And I'm not a professional, but I've done several tiered cakes and I put them in the fridge and I've never had a problem.
I'm not saying don't put them in the fridge at all.
Yeah.
I'm on about for a long length of time.
Yeah, no, I've even stored them in the
Oh,
fridge.
yeah. Oh, I don't do that.
And I don't have a problem at all. And I never have had a problem. But you know, when I started this live, and I say it on every demo, everybody comes here for tips and hints. You all have your own way of doing things. Okay, and what you do is you pick up, you try it. If you like it, great. If you don't, go back to what you used to do. We don't get off. But I can't sit here and agree with you because that's your way and that's what you like.
I agree
And
totally.
I have to stand strong on my way.
There you go.
There you go. There we go.
But you still didn't answer my question. What happens when you walk out into the
I did. I
heat?
said you sweat.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, Shirley said it as well. You weren't listening. You're too busy going on with yourself.
Right, so going back to the cake then.
Oh look, they love it. Controversial. Look, they're going
And
for
again,
it.
it is right what Carol says. It's whatever works for you. But I am a great believer.
But you're very comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And as long as you're comfortable with that and you're happy with that, then that's great. Okay. But I use a lot of buttercream and I put my cakes in the fridge all the time. And then I take them out when I want them. And they've never sweated.
I've never sweated.
You said they sweat.
They
Mine
sweat.
haven't. Mine haven't. No.
Sweaty
No,
cakes. It's so terrible,
Sweaty
isn't it?
cakes.
Right, okay. So I'm just going to put that one to one side a minute.
Not in the
I'm
fridge.
going to change the subject. Not in the fridge, by the way.
Yeah. Who agrees with me?
Sorry, but I do.
It's right though, 'cause if you have actually got an all buttercream cake, and then you have had it in the fridge, and then you take it out into extreme heat that we've had recently.
Yeah.
You know, they do sweat, and so moisture creates, and they do sweat, and cakes can become unstable. That's my philosophy. I'm sticking with it.
Well,
You
to
stick
be
to
fair,
yours, and I'll
Jules,
stick to
you
mine.
could be absolutely
Yeah.
right, but thankfully we don't have too many heat waves, so
Yeah,
I'm not really
yeah,
having a
that's
problem.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not. I would love to be with my daughter all the time, but I could not work in Spain
Yeah.
and make cakes unless obviously you've got it well air cons. But transporting them must be an absolute nightmare
Yeah.
because like you've got the same problem. You're in a cool room and then going into heat in your car.
Yeah.
You know.
I did have to. I've only ever done 2 wedding cakes in my life, and one of them was in August in a heat
The
wave.
cake lace.
Oh,
Someone's just said, sorry, don't
Yeah.
forget the cake lace.
Yeah.
And we have
well
completely
done,
forgot.
girls.
Yeah. Thanks, Siobhan.
It's out, it's done.
It's done.
It's done. Great.
It's cooked. I'll turn this off now. 'cause I
Yeah.
think we'll have enough.
But that was in hot weather.
Yeah.
But I went and put the air conditioning on in the car, cooled the car down, got the cake in the car.
Yeah.
And I carried it as a 4-tier cake in the car.
Yeah, it's very worrying though, isn't it? It's very risky. Right, okay, now. I do this all the time.
Shelley's causing trouble here. She's thinking to call it. I tell you, she's taking after us, Laura. Shelley.
Oh, it's
What?
She wants to start a poll tomorrow.
Oh no, don't. Start
We're
right
leaving
on
in
the
group.
group.
We'll have a fight.
Oh
We'll
my
be strapping.
God.
They'll all be leaving the group.
Can you imagine?
She says I'm wrong. She says I'm right. I'm right. I'm wrong.
It is
I'm
whatever
leaving the
works
group.
for you, isn't it?
I'm leaving the group.
I will say to people, going off the subject a little bit about stacked cakes, okay, I get loads of people, because I do make, on average, about 50 wedding cakes a year, as well as like novelty cakes and things like that. And I have a lot of people that, like, they might look at my cake and they say to me, did you take that as it was? Well, the answer is no, I didn't take it as it was. If
No.
you can break down any which way you can, and I can't stress this to you enough,
Yeah.
do not attempt to take a 3 or 4 tier cake when you can break it down.
Yeah.
You just go to the venue a little bit earlier. It
Yeah.
might take you half an hour more, but I can tell you now, if it falls in transit, it's going to take you more than half an hour to put it
very
right.
right.
So,
It is very stressful carrying a 4-tier cake in the car, but I've
Yeah.
got to be honest, it never moved.
well, I must say I have done it, but I've only
Because
done
with mine being buttercream cakes and they all go into each layers, you can't
Yeah.
you can't separate it.
Okay, the same again with my jam.
So anyhow, there we go. That was a nice little debate. Did you enjoy it? We're back. We're back. We're back.
Back in the room.
Right. Okay. Margaret Ellis is on your side. She never puts cakes in the fridge. But thankfully, there's 50,000 more that are on our side.
Oh, okay.
I like that, Tina Pine.
Yeah.
There you go, Shelley.
Yeah, but I'm not looking at the screen.
big
I think
fridge,
she's lying.
the big fridge or the the big fridge or not to fridge debate. Oh, crikey, we've started something here.
Yeah, we really have.
Okay, so my lining is still on my cake, and I'm pressing it down, and you can see that the buttercream is actually coming out the side of the cake. And before I put anything extra on, I'm actually going to utilise that to fill in the gap.
Super.
Yeah, I know sometimes people say to me, why don't you use a turntable, Jill? But I never use a turntable to do
What
this.
you're used to,
I
isn't
think
it?
it's because I'm little as well. It's got a lot to do with it. And this work surface is actually slightly higher than what I'm used to, so if it was any higher, I would struggle.
You know what? There's so many mixed reviews on here. There's so many people who fridge all the time and have no problems,
Yeah.
and there's others who don't fridge.
Yeah, it's funny,
And
isn't
you know, it really is. And that's why I say there's no right or wrong. It's what you're happy with. And you know what? I've made a cake and it's sank in the middle, and I've never known why.
Yeah.
Just happens,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and I think we've all done that. So you know, you just have to go by doing what you do.
Yeah. No, that's so true, and we see that on the community page all the time. People saying, "I've used this recipe hundreds of times, and all of a sudden this has happened. X, Y, Z's happened." There's no rhyme or reason for it,
No.
and people ask for advice, but you don't know.
No.
It's just one of those things.
Well, Margaret Ellis says one of my favourite sayings: "Each to their own."
Exactly. Yeah, that's so true.
And then we've got, what's this one here? Sabrine, who comes to the shows and sees us, says, let's start a new debate. Jam with or without seeds.
Oh.
I actually use with seeds at home.
And I use without.
And I use with without. However, if I'm having my toast, I don't do seeds. In fact, I don't even do blobs.
I don't. I always use it. I don't use seeds. But there you go, she uses seeds. We don't have it on your toast.
I actually use a conserve, and it's got seeds in.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to ask, what's a conserve?
Yeah.
Okay, the difference,
Go.
quote me if I'm
Go
wrong,
on.
but the difference between a conserve and a jam is actually just the purity of how much fruit is in there, as far as
Yeah.
I'm aware. There's more fruit in a conserve
Yeah.
than there is in a jam.
Yeah.
But I might be wrong there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just literally dipping my palette.
I'm not
knife
doing
in
bad, me,
water.
you know, for being a rustic cake decorator. They're all on my
Oh,
side.
they're just creeping. They're just creeping, that's all it is.
They're all without. They all put in the fridge and they're all without. Well, there's a few that don't put in the fridge.
Okay, there we go.
There's not one with a seed yet.
Okay. Right, let's have a clean up then. So get rid of our water. We'll get rid of our jam.
But having said that, Caroline Thornburn says, you're so busy, you work so fast, you haven't got time to put it in the fridge anyhow.
That's true.
Okay, let's just clear up.
And is your cake sponge, is it Madeira? Is it a
It's
sponge or Madeira?
It's a Genoese.
Genoese.
It's a nice firm cake. I always say, like, a Victoria sandwich is a no-no because it's too soft. And my personal preference is a Genoese. And the reason why I say that is because I think it's a cross between a Victoria sandwich and a Madeira. It's that in between.
Yeah.
A Madeira is a bit more
Quite
hard.
firm, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's quite
I know,
hard,
I'm not a
firm.
fan of Madeira.
But
But I love Genoese
a
cake.
Genoese is a nice, firm but moist cake.
Yeah.
And nice and easy to ice. Okay, let's get rid of all this rubbish here.
And then when you were smoothing with the buttercream, was it cold or hot water?
It was just tepid water.
Tepid.
Yep.
Yeah, Margaret, they won't want to argue with you, Carol.
I am.
The next one will be what kind of water everyone uses.
It's
In the
it's
garden.
It's cooled boiled water, tepid.
Okay, this is new for me because I keep saying
Oh,
this.
we've got 2 votes for seeds, and we've got a married couple who's divided.
Oh God.
Richard
There'll
and
be the balls on the
Julie.
cards next.
Richard likes seeds.
Oh, no.
Julie says no.
Oh no.
And then we've got who we got here? We've got another seedy person. So well, that didn't sound right. Did it? Person likes seeds. Sorry, it didn't sound good. Sorry, I didn't mean that in any way bad.
Okay, so I'm going to ice the whole of this cake in white, okay, and I'm going to decorate it in pink. It's nice, pretty and girly. I am using Renshaw's ready to roll icing, white icing. As I say, everybody to their own. I've tried lots of different icings. This is my favourite. I use Renshaw's decor covering paste. I use Renshaw's premium. I use this one, and I use the extra white as well. Ready
We've
to
got
roll
no
and
problems
extra
with
white.
Renshaw. We
Yeah.
like it as well.
And I love it.
Yeah,
And I've
I think
used it for a
I think the
long
Renshaw
time.
extra is extra is great.
Fabulous. The
Yeah.
the extra white is lovely. Okay,
Yeah.
and the other thing is with it, if you are doing a deep cake, like a 4 or 5 inch cake, there is a lot of elasticity in this, and it's very, very pliable. I do sometimes use other brands as well, but not many. And each time I try a brand, I always go back to this every single time. So I'm afraid you can't sway me any other way.
No problem with
I'm
that.
a Renshaw's girl through and through.
Good, there we go.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by just icing the cradle, okay? And what your plan is with your icing at the minute, well, when I took it out, it was all rough at the edges and all broken, very crumbly. But what we need to do is we need to smooth all that out. So I'm going to do this slow, and I'm going to show you something here. So you're not actually kneading it as such because it's not bread, it's icing. But remember, it is icing, so you need to be quite gentle but also firm with it. So I'm rolling it, I'm turning it over like that, and I'm rolling it in.
Okay, I'm just going to drop the height of the camera a minute so that they can see, because she's a bit shorter and they're struggling.
No, not that one. I think it's this one,
Which one?
which I've just moved.
And what I also
It's the same, you
find
can't
with
see it.
Renshaw's
Yeah.
is that you don't need to work it that much. And
I'm sure that's a good enough for you.
I think when you're actually icing and you've got a lot to do, it's good that you haven't got to end up with arms like a sumo wrestler.
Yeah, we don't want them.
Okay, although I think mine are going that way. All right.
I've got a belly like one.
Where is mine?
Got belly, arms and legs like
I've
one.
lost my little tub.
And I've got the boobs to go with them and all.
I've lost my little tub. Oh, no.
I wouldn't need one of those.
Oh, no.
What have you
What are you
lost?
looking for now?
Have a cornflower. It's a little silver tub.
That one.
Okay, all right. So I'm just going to put some on my surface. I know these don't need much, do they, normally? But because I'm used to working on stainless steel, I do normally put corn flour down. Some people prefer icing sugar. I never use icing sugar because I think it's too grainy. Again, that's personal preference. Okay.
You can't taste it on the cake, can you?
No. Okay, so
you can't taste the graininess. It's like with people when they say grainy buttercream. Once it's on the cake, you can't tell.
okay, most of this is going to be covered. I have got one of these boards actually. It's blue. I never use it. I've got a smaller one that I use. You know, if I'm doing some flowers or something like that.
So Natasha says she's not good with doing fondant and she missed what you said about kneading it. The dog decided to jump on her at that point.
Okay, well I'm going to do the other, I've got 2 more to ice anyway. Okay, so this is quite a nice thickness. I'm going to we'll do it a bit thinner than that.
Usually about 3 mils. And by the way, ladies, I've got the spacers in stock, so I shall be putting them on the website later on in the week.
Okay, and my nice smooth as a baby's bum. Okay, just going to move that out of the way a minute. Oh, I'm just a load of room. And bring my cake in. Okay.
Looks like a pie that at the moment, doesn't it? Looks like a big pork pie.
I'm going left to right here. I'm going to go right to left. Oh, you know I've got issues. I've got OCD issues. Okay, what I never ever do, I know there's some people that take it from the back and then they lift it up and it comes completely off the work surface and then they might drop it. So I always find that it's easier actually to put my rolling pin to the back, flip it over, keep it on my work surface, okay, and then just literally flop it over the sides. Okay, so I'm going to bring that into the camera.
Thank you.
And I'm just going to smooth that out there before we put it down the sides. Okay. All right, whenever you're smoothing a cake, you should never like go from here and pull it down. Always try and attach the icing at the top. And the reason why I say that is that if you just pull it straight down, it might break. Although Renshaw's icing is fabulous anyway. But
I have to agree with you.
with any icing, you should always try and stick sort of the top down before you start pulling it down. And you shouldn't, to be fair, that is incorrect what I've just said, pulling it down, because you shouldn't be pulling, you should be pushing towards the cake, which I'll show you in a minute. Okay, now obviously it's automatically going round. If you've got like a crease, you must pull it out. What I find is you never use your fingers because your fingers give prints. Always use this part of your hands, that's your smooth part, and you're just going round like that. Okay, I'm just going to bring that in like that. And when my granddaughter was born in Spain, I did this as a little homecoming cake when my daughter brought my granddaughter home, and it was lovely.
We've got a debate going on here.
What we?
Oh, God.
Should you use cornflour with marzipan? I don't know.
I know who's mentioned that. I bet that's Carol Tucker, isn't it?
No, I don't
We
know.
had this debate last
Oh,
week.
God.
No, somebody started it. You must use cornflour with marzipan as it ferments and goes mouldy. And then somebody else has put, I think you meant you must not.
Yeah,
But I don't know
heard
the answer to
I
that.
heard that last week, and some people have said that. But I've always
The
used
same lady
cornflour.
actually
Yeah,
has said
yeah.
must not. She's corrected herself.
Yeah, and I've always used cornflour, and I've never had
With
an
marzipan?
issue. Yeah, and also recently, I actually stripped a cake, a wedding cake that I made 4 years ago for a christening, and I know for a fact that I used cornflour on the icing, and it was absolutely perfect. So I don't know what the answer is to that. Some people say yes, some people say no.
Well, I've got to be honest. The only time I put cornflour, the only time I put icing on a cake is a fruit cake, and I've used apricot jam.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I've done
One shot
here.
knife in my green bordeaux.
Oh, I'll buy you another one.
At the knife brigade in a minute.
Right, I'm sorry, that's the way
Use
it
your
is.
little mini palette
No,
knife.
I have to use my knife. I told you I've got issues. Right, I'll buy you another one. You can turn it over. Right, to get it right. She's laughing.
I can't. It's got feet on it.
To get it right on the other side, okay, right the way down the side, I use this side of my hands to actually smooth it right to the edge of the cake. Now, if you're wanting a guide to where, if you're not very good at cutting, and it's just as important to cut your cake nice and smooth around the edge, although this one isn't so important because it's going to be covered up. But this is what I would normally do. So I'll just go in and I'll just make sure that the icing is completely adhered to the cake. Okay, and that also forms a line of where you're going to cut. Carol, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to. I won't press hard.
Good. As long as you don't press hard.
Right,
For looking on there afterwards. Like all these debates going on here. What a
What have we
comeback.
started tonight?
Oh no, she's on my side. They're not
Hey.
picking on me. Right, so I've cut off the most of it, and that bit I can reuse, but I'm going to go in a bit closer. Now, what I never ever do is just what I say, go in for the kill first. And the reason why I don't is because if you're cutting round a wedding cake and you need it to be, you know, absolutely A1, top on, you need to just be very, very careful. So I tend to sort of cut away gradually. And when I get to this point, I just put my finger around the edge.
Carol Tucker said, don't be winding you up because if you get nervous, you start farting.
No, that's not me.
You and I are going to get on.
That is not me. That is not me. She needs to be honest. Shall I tell you? She doesn't want
No,
to
she
start.
told everybody. She dropped one, didn't she?
Yeah. That slipped off the board slightly. So basically, Carol Tucker came to my unit a couple of weeks ago, and we was doing. I actually let her frost. I think I was doing a wedding cake, and she's there, frosting this cake. And all of a sudden, she lets out this. I hope you're going red, Carol Tucker. She lets out, and it wasn't a little one, Carol. It was a big.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. And she went, "Did that come out of my bottom?" And I went, "Well, it didn't come out of mine." Okay. All right. So we're just going to smooth that round. As I say, it's not so imperative that it's completely smooth. And if you're wanting to smooth the inside, just a little trick for you, because that's actually indented in there, and if you just get a ball of icing, okay, and you can smooth it out that way. And that way, you haven't got to worry about trying to get your smoother in the middle. And that'll smooth that out in the centre.
forget to do that. I know that, and I always forget to do that. Yeah.
Alright.
I've just been told, is our board a self-healing board? I never knew they were self-healing. I thought it
There
was...
are craft ones that are like
I thought
they've got
it-
like a gel in them, but I have no idea about the green board.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, so let's crack on to the next one then. Actually, I will need...
Do you need the ovens on
no,
anymore?
it's okay. We're stacking it, aren't we? Straight
Right.
on, so I don't need another drum.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to bring in cake number
Do you
2.
want a big drum for them all, though?
Yes, please. I think about a 14-inch would be nice. Okay.
Did we bring one? Be careful, I bent down. Right.
Yeah, don't bend down, please.
You'll have to have this one.
Pink one.
I know. Why did you want a silver one?
Yeah, I'm going to ice it.
Well, you didn't actually tell me you wanted a big board.
That's a
Well, you
16-inch.
can ice this one afterwards, can't you?
That's a shame to ice a pink
Oh,
board.
no problem. We don't sell coloured boards anyway. Use this one.
Right.
Can
Okay.
do with this then.
So much stuff everywhere.
All right, let's just move this cake out of the way because it's not
Right, do you want this oven on anymore?
No, I thought I turned it off. I
No,
didn't
the
turn
other
it
one
off.
was still on.
Sorry.
It's alright.
Okay, so cake number 2 then. So we've got a 7-inch round.
Our strawberry milkshake tastes nice, doesn't it?
I love it
Just
how
like
you
this,
say
yeah.
that and you sound so surprised every time.
Because I actually don't really eat it. With buttercream.
Oh,
I haven't tasted strawberry milkshake, and God knows it's not my flavour, that one actually, but it does taste really nice, doesn't it?
Now, normally when I'm icing, I always try and keep it in the shape of the cake, but because I haven't got any room.
Sorry.
Little room.
Tasty fussy, this one, isn't she?
I am.
Comes
I
in,
did tell you I was fussy.
causes all these debates. We've got a riot going on. We've got a poll going on. Shelley's getting involved. We've got people farting. I don't know what's going on here.
Potential divorce on the cards about seedless jam.
And what is it? Marzipan and cornflour.
Yes, Christy, the lace come out the oven. You missed it.
Don't worry, it's definitely out on the oven.
Did we show them the second sheet?
No, because it was cooling.
Ah, it's cooling.
It'll be cold now, actually. I will show them. Okay.
coffee. Yes, the chocolate drips arrived back last week. So everyone, chocolate drips arrived back in the country last week. They arrived last Friday. So they're back in stock if you want those as well. Faye Cahill is back in stock. And I am going to be taking it all to Cake and Bake. So I have another palette of the stuff coming to Cake and Bake, and I'll be taking it there.
I'd just like to say, although we're not using the cake drip tonight, I think it's the best thing.
Oh, it's
ever.
fabulous. It just makes life so
Absolutely
easy.
fabulous. And people go, oh, it's too expensive. It's not too expensive. You can use it at least 6 or 7 times, even more.
Yeah.
It's so worth £1, not even £1, just to do a drip cake. It's just amazing.
I know. I think the supplier recommend. It says that it'll cover 3 cakes, but it actually does more.
No. I know for a fact that I had a tub of the strawberries and cream, and I did 6 drips with it.
Yeah. It does do more, to be fair. Yeah. But I think the supplier's just erring on the side of caution.
I'm going to move this over again, okay? All right, I've just got it to here. So I haven't moved my icing off the surface, and I'm just literally laying it onto the cake now and just letting it flop. Okay, I'm just going to move it into the camera. All right, onto the top first. Okay, with the flat of your hand, round the top. Okay, move your cake round as you go round. Never reach, especially if you've got big boobs, because then you'll mark the cake. I don't have that trouble. Okay, so just smoothing it round the edge like this. And if you've got a crease, never just go in, because if you just go in, you're going to put a big crease in your cake. Okay, just bringing it out, smoothing it round like there.
So the green thing on the table, Carol, is no, it's not Carol. For that, Roberta, is actually a sugar craft board, and everybody has one. They're ideal. Everybody does have one. Anybody in the industry who's doing anything, you use it for everything really. Use it for rolling out your sugar paste, for doing your modelling on, all sorts of things on. Albeit I don't actually let anybody chop their knives on it. I shall be examining this afterwards. So
I'm special.
Yeah. But they're great. We do them in 3 sizes. We do this one, we do a smaller size and an even smaller size. So we are going to Cake and Bake in October. I will let you know if I decide if I'm going to Cake International. I would probably say we are. Now they're behaving themselves.
Okay, as long as
I've just got to make sure there's no copy sellers there. I'm not going if they're selling copies at the show. I'm very particular about selling copies. Nifty Nozzles, the genuine Russian pipe and tips, as you know, they belong to Alexander Lebedev in Russia. We are his partner, and we have registered all the designs on behalf of Alexander. They are registered designs, and I am not paying to go to a show where I could be in competition, and that's how I've been with a copy seller, not when I'm a registered design right person.
If you do find that you've got any little air bubbles in your cake, you can actually just pierce them and just go around with your smoother afterwards. I'm just going to continue in doing a sharp edge on this, but I'm not going to go OTT because obviously...
Right. Okay, so everybody, we are back. We don't know what happened. Nobody knows what happened. We were talking in mid-flow there. So anyhow, Julie is going to finish off smoothing her cake for you. Okay, we're just going to bring hopefully all the audiences are going to come back and join us again. It's growing very nicely. We're up to 157 already, so which is very fast. So hello everybody, welcome back. Okay. I was just in the middle of saying to you about Cake International. There's 2 shows here in the UK, Cake and Bake. You know what, there's fans of both. I actually love them both. I love Cake and Bake. We've gone there every year. We've had a great time. It's a great show. It's a different show from Cake International. Cake International is an amazing show. It's worldwide renowned. It's got a fabulous reputation, and I love being there as well. So it's a great show. I'm 99% sure we're going to be there, but I'm very much about sticking to my guns, okay? And this isn't a Cake International really causing any problems. It's how they're just going to deal with it. But when you go to a prestigious show, the way I believe is that you customers should be able to go and buy products safely, knowing that you are spending your decent money on genuine products. You should not be there buying copies. And I'm trying to alert Cake International about copy sellers. I have certificates for all mine. I've registered all my nozzles. Everything of mine has got design rights, and that's what I want to make sure, that there's no one selling copies of my stuff. So the audience is now growing to over 235. We're getting there. Julie, what are you looking for?
Okay, I'm just losing the plot, basically.
Right, okay, well your audience is growing back. Lovely. So everybody's here. So hello everybody.
Okay, one of the things that I've done wrong there that you've got to be careful of, and that is literally because I've applied too much pressure at the back.
You broke the internet with the fridge or no fridge debate. They're arguing on every group now.
It's because I've pressed too far back on the smoother. I've got like a little line there, which
you can't see it.
You're not going to see it, so I'm not worried about that. Before anybody comments, oh, she's got a line at the top of the cake. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, with this centre tier, I'm going to do a cushion effect, okay? Or should we do the lace?
Whatever you like, I don't mind.
Okay, there's lots of ways of doing a cushion effect. This is a brilliant one, okay? You can either go this way or you can go that way. As this is a 3-inch deep cake, and the one I've got at home is a bit taller than this, I'm just going to bring it up to the edge, okay? So what you must never do if you're going to use do an imprint onto your cake to give you an outline for cushion is put it onto a turntable, because you'll be whizzing around and it'll be a mess.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do use a turntable when I actually do the what do you call it?
Pearls.
No, the roll. I can't think of the word. Right, so what I'm going to do, because I don't want to go right to the bottom here anyway, because otherwise it's not going to go to the edge, I'm just going to take that in the middle and I'm just going to press that into there slightly.
Just let me answer a question.
Yeah.
Sarah Mosley, you have every right to take your copies back to Lakeland. They sold your copies, so I'm glad you took them back, and you are entitled to your money. It's really bad that big stores
I think they can.
like Lakeland deliberately ignoring, just because I'm a small retailer, what they want to do is they want to have their day in court, but they just know that small retailers can't afford to take them to court.
Okay, so what I've done there is I've started off with like a diamond effect. What you should also never do is reach round. Always put it level, eye in front of you. I always put it to the left slightly once I've done my first one, and I start off with that one there. So I'm actually going to take...
The only problem is we are struggling to see that because it's directly in front of you.
Right, I'm going to bring it round then. I'm going to bring it round. Is that no good?
No.
Can you do it on that side camera there, Jules?
Yeah, let me just move this one out. Right.
So see that side camera to the right here?
But it would mean turning the cake slightly. That's
Yeah,
the
it's
only
just
thing.
that I can't
I
reach
know.
round, that's all. Yeah. Okay, I'll have a go, because I've been told off. Okay, they keep telling me off. Right, okay, so you've got to be really, really careful with this, because if you're going to do it, you've got to do it right.
Yeah.
Okay, but what I don't like to do is what I'm doing now, and I'm going to reach now, just so you can see on the camera, and I'm hoping that this is not going to go skew with. Okay, and I'm just going to bend that round, and I'm just putting an outline onto the cake like that. Okay, I'm going to turn it round slightly, and I'll do it as much as I can to the camera.
Yeah.
And then just join it up there again, getting it straight. Okay, so be careful. Utilize the centerpiece to hold it, and just push it slightly on the cake. You don't want to make like a great big lines in it, great big dents in it, because we're going to go over that with the stitching tool in a minute. That was the word I was thinking of before, stitching tool. Okay.
Okay, just very quickly, I've got a couple of people saying, can you use a turntable? Can you lift the cake up, etc., etc. We are trying our very best to get this in shot for everybody,
Okay.
but also allow Jules to work. The turntable can't be used because as soon as you apply any pressure, it's going to spin. So it's impossible to use a turntable for this, I'm afraid.
I do have a lot. I use recently. There's a new turntables that are out that are locking ones, so you can use it. But I always find that the best way to do it, and seriously, I wouldn't even bother putting it on a turntable. It needs to go onto the work surface because it needs to be stable.
Yeah.
And as soon as it
it spins.
you've just lost it. Okay. So.
Just to answer a few people's questions, if you bought your nozzles from Lakeland, by law, you are legally able to take them back. They do not own the rights to them, I do. They are selling you a copy. And they're actually selling you a copy that's made in China, and they're selling you from a company in Germany who's supplying them. And when you look at the quality of them, I've actually looked at them. Completely different quality to the genuine ones.
You say, Jill, breathe.
Yeah, breathe, Jules.
So this is this tool that's being used at the moment is actually from Patchwork Cutters, and it's called as a diamond side design.
Yeah.
So the brand is Patchwork
Okay, so I
Cutters.
just want to film there a minute. There. Now, what I normally find is when you come to the end, sometimes it doesn't quite marry up.
Yeah.
Okay, we're actually, I'm going to bring that.
Can you spin to that side camera?
Yeah, just there, look. But I'm actually going to do that with the stitching tool, and it is more or less there.
Yeah.
So sometimes you've got to have just a good eye and do it, just finish it off
Yeah.
freehand.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have got a turntable, I will use a turntable now if that's
Do you want
all
to?
right.
Do you want to?
Yeah, please.
Great. I have one. I have everything here. Don't worry.
She's got it all.
Yeah. Grip them out on it. Yeah, do that.
Yeah. Lovely. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to place that on there. In fact, can I have a little board as well?
Yes, you can. And just to let you know, the audience is all back. We're up to 372,
Hey!
which is fantastic. So well done, everybody. When you say a little board,
Just a board or a drum or something like that. There we go. Okay. I just always find it easier just to put something on top, and then when I'm lifting the cake, I can just lift it off. All right. So what I've got here is.
So are you enjoying the demo, everybody? Get those thumbs up. She's a great girl. She's working hard. We are going to go over time. So just to tell you a few things, okay? We will go over time tonight because she's got to do swag. She's got to finish off the baby. We've got to get the cut on. We've got to get it all sorted out. So do be prepared for a late night. Sorry, Laura.
It's all right, don't worry.
I did know we was going to have a late night. Just didn't want to tell you when you came in in case you turned around and went home.
But we did start late, didn't we?
We did start late. Do you remember we didn't start? We were half an hour late.
Oh, we weren't that much.
We were.
No, we
Did
We
we?
weren't.
started about 12 minutes past 8.
Were we?
Yeah. It wasn't.
Actually, I
half an
put
hour.
that lace in the oven at 8:25, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, I love a bit of exaggeration. Anyhow, right, okay then. We're 12 minutes
So
late.
what I'm using here is a little stitching tool, and I'm carefully just going over the lines just to create the cushion effect. Okay. Oh, right, okay.
Right,
You need
great.
to start first, Carol, because you need to do
I
some
do.
serious...
Can I just apologise, everybody? The reason we went off then was my fault. I was frozen on my actual phone screen. I decided to do a clever thing and switch off the internet. I don't know why. I just wasn't thinking. So sorry about that. Laura just, and I wouldn't have even clicked. It's just an automatic pilot thing. I decided to reboot, completely forgetting that we needed the internet. I am so sorry. That's my fault. Anyhow, we've got a lot to do, but Jules has been busy. She's here in the kitchen. She's not farted. She has swore. So
I've gone through menopause.
yeah, she's having a menopause. It's been very stressful, but do stick with us. The audience is growing again, which is absolutely fabulous. Very pleased with that. So I'm sure everybody will come back. Again, hopefully you've had a chance to have a wee, and I hope you're enjoying the night. We've still got a lot to do. For those people on YouTube, what we will do as well is, and for the Facebook, tomorrow Maria will be in. She'll piece all 4 lives together.
Yeah.
So those people who actually watch the whole session will be wondering why there's been little breaks, but now you know, okay? Right, so the main camera is too high, as I can't see Carol rolling her fondant. It's not me rolling her fondant, it's Jules. Which is the main camera that's too
I
high?
don't know, because I've switched about 3 times since we
Yeah.
started, so.
Okay, so while we've been off screen, I have finished off the cushion effect, and I've actually iced the 9" as well. So this icing that I'm actually rolling out at the minute is actually for the board. So we're going to ice the board, and I've got cake on it, so that's not very good. But if you do get cake on it, this is where Illustrator pin comes in handy.
I won't worry because that will end up coming off anyway.
Okay. Yeah, but I know it's there, Carol, so it's got to be right.
So anyhow, the audience is very quickly nearly up to 250. So they're very loyal customers of ours. So give us a thumbs up, everyone. Let us know that you're staying. We're so pleased that you support us tonight. We have got a lot to show you, and still a lot to show you. Okay, so we have had a good laugh in here. And yes, Laura's on overtime. She'll be doing a late start tomorrow. Oh, look at that. Oh, she like that. Get the lion tomorrow.
I'll have a lion.
I haven't told them yet that you sent me to a farm.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Poor Jules.
Yeah, poor Jules. Our postcode doesn't work for some reason. Google have decided to put my home address in the middle of the golf course, so it now rediverts everybody 3 miles away. And so Jules was late anyhow getting here, but we did start on time. The reason we were late was because the internet. I don't know what's going on with the internet, but the last issue was definitely my fault. I definitely wasn't thinking. I just flicked everything on. Didn't even think about it. But we're back.
I've got to tell you about this farm, because I pulled up at this farm and it was like Steptoe's yard. And I was thinking to myself,
Where are we going?
oh, it looks very nice on the internet. And then I ring her and she goes, well, actually, you're 2.5 miles away. Cheers, Carol. Cheers, love. Right, okay. When I ice a board, I always just wet the board. Now, I do use a pastry brush back when I'm at work. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slightly wet the board, okay, to enable the icing to stick. So I'm just going to nip to the sink.
Yep,
okay.
that's right. So, what was I saying to you all? I don't know.
You've lost track now.
Lost track.
Okay, so this is actually a bit large for this cake, a 14-inch board. With
You
big
asked for a
ankle.
14-inch board.
That's 16.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah. I did ask for a 14-inch board, but I got a
Do
16.
you want a 14-inch board?
I would prefer a 14-inch
Right,
board.
I thought it was a 14-inch board.
No, it's 16. If I was a man, I'd be saying it was 25.
Right, will that do? Do you want to wet that?
Yes! There we go, we wet this board.
You might have to stick it down.
Oh, it might, we're going to have icing on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look better on a 14. So, okay, so we're going down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that there. I'm going to lift that up. I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to bring my board in, and I'm just going to place it onto my board like so. Okay?
Great.
Come see, come ça.
So we're back over 300, Julie.
Very good.
Got a very good audience. They're all staying with us. So you're all on the late shift tonight. Yes, it was a senior moment, Maloney. I don't know what I was doing. And if anything, if you saw Laura's face, she didn't know what happened. She just saw all the internet go off. She had no idea. And it was only because I looked at her and I thought, ooh, ooh. I've just turned it off.
Okay, I always use a scalpel when I cut round. So just go in and all the way round, putting your scalpel right upright. Okay, there we go.
See that bit of authority there, back on cake.
No, back on it then.
Okay, so have you got a little crimper? Do you use crimpers?
I have got some crimpers, but we don't actually sell them.
Oh right, okay.
But I've got some. Do you want some crimpers? Have you got
Just
time for it all?
Yeah, I can do crimper in 30
Crimpering.
seconds. Crimping in 30
I
seconds.
used to sell loads of crimpers and then they stopped
A
selling
lot
for
of
some
people
reason.
don't like them, but it's only because they don't know what to do with them. But it's amazing what you can do. So you might be selling them then after this, because otherwise we're going to have a plain board. Let's have a choose.
I'll have to get some back in now.
Oh, I'm stainless steel ones myself.
No, I know. I should get the stainless steel ones then. There's one stainless steel one.
There's a heart one. Should we have a heart?
Yeah.
Let's have a heart. Okay. All right. So just
If people
literally
want crimpers, let me know. I'll get them back
Yeah.
in.
pinch it along.
Oh, they're saying it's
What
freezing.
orange? We're on orange. I was hoping it was
please
going to
don't.
correct itself.
Eh?
I was hoping it was just going to correct itself.
Keeps freezing. Oh,
But you
no.
left your phone on.
No, I've left my phone
That's
on.
what I mean, you have, so I don't get.
Yeah. Sound's gone. Oh no. Intimate freezing breaking up again. Oh my god.
That's really pretty.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi, I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi, so it's nothing to do with that. I'm wondering if there's something else going on out there. Because this is just blue, this is now.
Yeah, it's
The only thing that we're going to do now is we're going to go to Premiere. Hear us? I don't know
Hi,
whether we're...
everybody. I know we've got a lot of people saying it keeps freezing, it's on and off. It does keep freezing, unfortunately. I can see it on the laptop here. We are, I was on mute, but we are still on. But it's constantly freezing, unfortunately. I don't. Sarah Mosley's just put, is anybody there?
Carol.
Pardon?
9-inch board. Have you got one, a stacking
I
board?
think I'm gonna.
Can you just give me some thumbs up? Let us know whether we're live or not. This says we're still live.
Yeah, but we are still live.
And there's a big audience of 318 still watching.
Right, I think we
Keep going, ladies.
Let's
We
just
can
try
see
and
you
keep
here.
going. Yeah,
Yeah, I think we'll just
My
keep
daughter
going.
said there's a really bad connection.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to crack on and we're going to stack this cake up. So I've got a 14-inch drum here. Okay, there is a difference between a drum and a stacking board.
Do you want a board or a drum?
No, I just want to measure out, so
Oh.
I'm just going to show them what I do to centralise it, that's all.
Right.
So a 9-inch, that's 9-inch, thank you. Okay, right, in fact I think that's 10.
Yeah,
It is 10.
I don't think I've got any 9 inches here.
Right,
I've got an 8 inch.
okay, I'll just, well, normally, this is what I normally do, okay, but unfortunately, most people, when they're asking for wedding cakes, are not just like even numbers 10, 8, 6, 11, 9, 7. Most people that want to cater for around about 100 guests. So I quite often use odd size cakes because I say that an 11, 9, 7 inch, 3-inch deep cake fits approximately 100. So I quite often work with odd numbers. Now,
Right, can I just tell you, everyone said it seems to be fine
No,
and it's
it's
going
not.
back.
It's not.
okay, so this is actually, oh, this is a 9-inch board, I thought it was. So the cake that I'm using at the bottom is 9-inch. So this is just a tip for you to centralise your cake in on the board, because there's nothing worse than obviously if you've got a tier cake and then you actually just, it's not central and you've got too much space or not enough space. So what I normally do is I normally get the size of the cake that I've used at the bottom, and I just get my Schreiber pin and I just mark 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that just gives a mark where I'm going to put the cake. Alright, so I'm going to bring my bottom tier in. Okay, and I think this is where we're going to put the lace. So where I've put the holes, I'm going to put the first one on the front there.
Okay. So I think we're going to have to stop this and go to Premiere.
Has it gone off again?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to film.
What does that mean, Premiere then?
I'll tell you in a minute. It's going backwards and forwards. The sound keeps going. Can hear you now. Still live, still watching.
The picture's totally froze on there.
Yeah. Okay. Right, everyone. I think the word you set it up as Premiere. Right, everyone, what we're going to do is we're going to stop filming, okay? We're going to stop the live podcast. So what we'll do is you lot go and relax, go to bed, but we're actually going to continue with the live. Basically, what it means is we'll go to premiere. And what that means is we'll carry on with the live. We can still answer questions. We know what you're going to say anyhow. And what we'll do is we'll release the whole lot tomorrow. And then when you can tomorrow, just come on and watch. And then just scroll to the bit that you want to get to the end, all right? And then you'll see everything then. We'll put the whole thing together. It's quite magical what we can do. But seriously, when Maria's in tomorrow, she'll be able to put the whole thing together and you won't know. And you'll be able to scroll through. But Carol's... Julie is here tonight, so I want to finish the live with Julie and I want to get back onto the banter in the kitchen and having a laugh again. And the only way we can do that now is maybe take you guys offline and we're going to do a private live. So unfortunately you won't get to see it now, but you will get to see it tomorrow. Yeah? Is that okay? So all of you get to bed, get rested, and we'll post this live tomorrow. We'll post it tomorrow day, which means that you can watch it anytime. So as soon as Maria's done it, she'll make an announcement, post it. We'll get an email out so you can catch up. All right then. So thanks for joining us. Really sorry about the internet. I don't know what the problem is, but even my phone Wi-Fi has gone down. So I really don't know. I can't help. But we're going to do it this way. All right then. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, I'm very sad, very sad.
But they'll still get to see you, Jill.
Yeah, you still get to
You'll
see
get to see all the hints and tricks. All of it. We'll be here.
So, I'm unfortunately going to miss the swagging and the bows, which I'm going to do next.
Well, you'll
but
miss
you will
it
see
now,
tomorrow.
but you will see it tomorrow because we're going to continue here privately. All right then? We'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. We know it's been a nightmare night, but Jules is still with us. She may well be losing the will to live, but she's here. She's going to crack on with this and we're going to enjoy the rest of this live. So we don't know what's going on with our internet connection, but we are back. So give us those thumbs up. Let us know that you're back. That's what we want to hear from you. And we're going to crack on. And where are we? We're on the bottom tier, aren't
Okay,
we?
we're on the bottom tier. I've just had to pop some more lacing because we're going to be a tiny bit short because originally I was going to put it on the centre tier, but it's a shame to cover up the cushion effect completely, so I'm going to put it on the bottom tier. And I think I'm going to use the small teddy one as well on the centre tier, and then put the bow from
And
there.
it looks fun.
Okay, so
Good.
to put cake lace on then, the best way to do it is with a cake steamer. Okay, this is actually by Cake Lace, so I'm just turning it on and they boil up really, really quickly, approximately about 40 seconds I think. So
I've
I'm
never
just gonna
used a
wait
cake
that.
steamer.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it, to be honest, because if you use glue, what will happen is the lace will actually disintegrate.
Ah.
So it is better. So if you just actually moisten your cake up slightly, and the other thing is what the steamer does is if you've got any white marks from corn flour or anything like that, it will completely eradicate those as well. So it will give your cake a nice sheen.
Super. Let me just go and turn the kettle off.
That.
What is?
It's this that you can
Hey?
hear.
Oh, is it? I was thinking that kettle's loud,
That's a
isn't it?
classic, isn't it, that one?
Did you say? I can see Laura looking at me so I've gone freaking bonkers. Yeah, I'm thinking.
Steaming!
Come on,
Okay, so you don't need to soak your cake. You just need to just like put some moisture on it. Okay?
It's quite interesting what you said there because I would have always stuck the cake lace on with glue.
No, never put
Yeah.
it on with glue because it'll just disintegrate. That should have moistened the cake up, but I know for a fact that it won't go on completely. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rest it against there, and I'm actually going to steam it now onto the cake. Okay, and just go round like that. And doing it that way, that is not quite in there. We've lost his face, but it's a bit skew with there, but we're all right. We're
So
rocking
if you
anyway.
just do it slowly because I don't know which camera Laura's
Yeah, I'm
on.
on that side one.
So she's on that side
So you
one
can
there.
just see the teddy lace there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to dowel this cake,
Yeah.
okay, and then we're going to, in fact, when I've dowelled the cake, I'll actually bring, because I never actually put the cushion effect, the pearls in the cake number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this off here because I can't dowel on a turntable.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, the way I always dowel and to make sure that you get it right is I always think about the cake that's going above, i.e. the size. So if we've got a 7-inch cake which is that's going on here, what I would normally do, I actually just dowel by eye. But if you're really worried about doweling, the best way to do is to take a cake board 1 inch smaller than the cake that you're actually putting on. And if you put it there in the centre, just draw a line round the 6 inch board because it's going to be a 7 inch cake. And then I would literally put your central dowel in 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it by eye. Okay, so I'm just going to put one in the centre there. I'm going to use a little marker there just to mark it, make sure you do it straight. And I'm just going to put a little line there. Okay, and I use my old, they are garden secateurs, but they've never been used for the garden, so don't worry. And I'm just going to cut just below the line and just plop that in there like that. Sorry. Okay, and then I'm going to go 12 o'clock, just there. Use another one. And then I'm going to go 3 o'clock, just there. And I'm just going to mark it so it's just on the top of the cake. And I'm just going to take my cutters and I'm just going to cut there on the line.
Right, so for all those people who don't know and new to cake making, do you want to just tell them why they would need to use dowels?
Okay, if you are doing a tier cake, okay, you can't just, well, you can. You can't just stack a cake one on top of the other. And also, what a lot of people forget is that they have to have something underneath, because it's pointless doweling a cake if you've got nothing for the dowels to be supported to go on top of. So that's why we use stacking boards. So if you recall back to the beginning of the video, beginning of the live, that 7 inch cake was on a 7 inch stacking board, what we call a stacking board. And this one is on a 9 inch board. Now, I put all my cakes on stacking boards, regardless of whether it's the bottom or whether it's going up, because what it enables you to do, even the bottom tier, you need to be able to move it around your surface. And if you haven't got it on a board, then it's quite difficult to do.
Yeah, I agree.
So 5 dowels.
Laura?
I'm actually...
For the first time, there's no debate tonight.
I would actually say that I'm quite a cautious doweler, and I'm an over doweler, but believe me, I'm a great believer that more is better than not enough. Okay, but I think that's
it's good for newbies, because there's lots of newbies watching tonight, and it'd be good for them to understand, because I think a lot of people don't get the dowels, do you?
Yeah.
A lot of people think
they just put the dowels in and that's it.
Yeah.
But you've got to have a board sitting on there in order to support it.
And that's what they miss, isn't it? Yeah.
And it's amazing how many people go, oh, I needed a board? What do you mean a board?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've stacked it, but if you're really, really worried, as I say, just use a stacking board 1 inch smaller than the cake that's going on. Yeah. Put it there, draw a little line round, and that will give you a guide. Perfect. And always remember the centre, because if you're standing on anything, the weight is in the middle. Yeah. Okay? It's not this cake is supporting everything. This cake is supporting the one above, and the middle tier is supporting the one above that. Okay, right. Super. Let's get this tier.
So everybody, hope you're watching this live and you're enjoying it. It's a very long session tonight, but in fairness, Jules has come along to do lots of things. So she's given herself a right task. Okay. Also, Jules in her private life, when she's making cakes, works very, very fast. And because she is a professional, she can work fast, she gets on with it. What she hasn't counted for is that we chat to you. So we chat to you and we ask questions and we have a debate. So next time Jules comes, she won't offer to do so much. Because normally it's just Jules in her kitchen. So do you want to tell them your group, Jules?
Okay, so I run a small subscription group, and it is a subscription group. There is a small cost involved of £10 a month. Now I make on average, it might only be something like 5 or 6 cakes a week, but those 5 or 6 cakes could be tiered cakes. And I do, like I've done tonight, from start to finish, from frosting, filling, icing, decorating, right the way through. So there's a strong possibility that sometimes I could be on live for 4 or 5 hours. And I literally will go all the way through. But what I do make clear to everybody that joins my group is that I am running a business as well. Yeah. So sometimes people come to the door and the phone rings. I tend not to answer the phone when I'm working, especially if I'm icing. Yeah. But if somebody comes to the door, I can't.
There's nothing you can do. Yeah.
And I do work alone, so it is quite a lot. So I am multitasking all the time. Yeah. Right. Okay. What we're going to do here, we're going to use the I call it draggy kiss. I know it's
Yeah.
draggy kiss. Whatever
I've got to
they
be
call
honest,
it.
I don't know what do I call it, the drage kiss.
Yeah, and I think Lowe's just say DK.
Yeah, I think DK is far easier. Now, just so you know that this is a genuine DK applicator.
Yeah, it is.
Do not be fooled by buying a copy. This is a patented design, okay? It's owned by Gwen Powell. There is some copies out on the market and they are cheap and nasty, believe me. And the saddest thing is they've actually nicked Gwen's videos to promote their products, which is really bad. So, so the DK applicator is very, very good. It's easy to use.
I think I've got one in there. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Would
Not
I?
got- not got any pearls in?
No. Thinking, why isn't any coming out? Go on, Carol, sorry.
So it is very easy to use and it makes it very quick and simple. Now, in fairness, Jules does what I do. I just push the pearl straight in, okay? But Gwen's very much about just dabbing the holes with a little bit of water to make them stick. Also, the sugar paste is drying out now because
if I
it's
would
been
have
made.
done this, sorry for interrupting, but if I would have done this when I first did it,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have this
No,
problem. They
you
wouldn't be
wouldn't.
coming out.
Yeah.
And I will guarantee that because
Yeah.
the icing is starting to dry out now. Now the other thing I quite often use as well, if you want a different effect on it, is you know the little star tool.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say to you, do you want me to carry on doing that now
Would
while
you?
you get on with the rest of it?
Okay, then that's
I
great.
end up doing this all the time,
All
don't
right,
I?
then, so that's great. So I'm going to pass
Painting
this one
sweet
over to
dance
Carol. And seriously, obviously, if I would have done this from the off, that
Yeah.
wouldn't be happening.
No
and I know
worries.
that for a fact.
Yeah.
Right, there we go. So let's move this out the way. All right, so I do need that tea though to go on before I can do that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. So it doesn't
Would you
really
want-
matter.
do you want
So
to
I
finish
might
off
as well carry
Do you
on.
want to finish off the cart or anything?
Well, because it's going straight on. Woo!
That
Nearly.
was close.
I nearly dropped it. Let's get a bit of glue.
Right, well, I've got a drage kiss, so you know what, I'll help you as well.
Can do the front and back.
Where is it? Yeah, because I need that to go on there. Oops. Yeah, so they are, because it is quite warm in here, they have started, it has started to dry out slightly. No, seriously, this doesn't normally happen. It's just going to be one of them nights, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just set to test us today.
It was when I got onto the, come off the M6 and it said, accident, if you take this route, you will be delayed 20 minutes. That was the start of it. And of course, Carol sent me to a farm. I can't get over that I ended up on a farm.
How funny is that?
And on Septo's yard. Now I'm not going right to the bottom of this for the simple reason that I think,
Do you want that to push in just a little bit?
yeah.
Just help because it's dry. Use your glue.
Yeah.
Use your pearls.
Well, I would rather not use that because that'll make a bigger hole. So
Right. No worries.
I'm glad we haven't got a small cushion effect on here because it could be long and dirty. I normally do a closer one than this. So. I think what we'll do is, because we've made 2 lots of lace, we'll actually steam. In fact, I'm going to steam that on now. I'm going to steam it on now before I go any further because I don't want to steam the pearls. So let's just get that lace on. Let's get the other lace on. We might as well use it because we've got it and it's nice. Watch yourself, Carol, because I'm going to steam this. Ideally, because I've just decided to use this now, you wouldn't normally steam after you've put the pearls in because the steam will take the colour off the pearls.
Right.
Okay, but because I do things like this, you know, randomly, spasmodically, I'll change my mind as I go along. And because I have got such a good regular customer client base, quite often when they order with me, they'll say, we'll leave it up to you, Jules.
Yeah.
Which is really, really good. I actually thought the feet were the wrong way around then, but they're not because they go up and down. Okay, so we're just going to put it onto the cake and then we're just going to steam it on. Just watch yourself. Push that down. And that's covering the base of it as well, and I think that'll look nice. That one's a bit scraggly, but let's cut that one off. Where's my skizzers? So just cut that one off. Just hope I've got enough now if I cut that off. There we go. let there be enough. And you can just join it up. Now I would suggest just taking that edge off on that one so it joins up better. I think this will be enough here, yeah. I'm going to take that off there. I've taken that off before. Sorry, Carol. If I would have steamed this actually beforehand, it would have moistened the cake.
Yeah, it's all right.
In order for the pearls to go in.
Yeah.
I'm being a bit brutal with this now.
We like brutal.
Just push that along there and along there, and then we'll just cut that over. I can slightly overlap, sorry, Carol.
Right.
There we go. Right, they should go in easier now actually, because I've moistened off the cake. We've got a double
I
one.
know.
Yeah,
Just trying to
put
get
it
it out.
together.
Like a double yolk of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how I did that.
there we go.
I might have indented them a bit more than
Okay.
you have.
There we go. And can you just this bit here? So now we've moistened off the cake a bit. These should just stick now. There we go. There we go. Should have done that in the beginning.
See, but you see, that's another trick, you
Yeah,
see.
but I do
And the-
normally, that's the thing.
Yeah, but the
Let's
other
get it
thing
right
as
now.
well, the other thing as well, Jules, what you have to remember when you're in the kitchen, lots of people are here novices and they don't know, or they've
Yeah.
never used it before. So when they have this type of problem, they now know.
Yeah.
You know what? This is what we need to do. Sort it out.
Okay, you just take that for me a minute, Carol, and we're just going to bring the other cake back in, and we're going to get this cake stacked, and we're going to start with the cradle. Okay, so if we just put that there, we'll make that our front, I think.
Right, push one. Is it right? I'll put back on this.
Okay, if you just pass me that over.
Mhm.
Okay, and again, obviously, what we've got 2 inches between tiers. Don't worry about if you make a black mark or anything on your cake with a pen, because the pens are edible.
Yeah.
So just to stress that, anybody's saying, oh God, she's got black on the cake, do not worry. Okay, and literally, obviously, because we've steamed the cake as well, we can just place that down, and it will actually, there's enough moisture in icing, I feel,
Yeah.
to make the cake stick down naturally anyway.
Yeah.
If you are transporting, obviously it's a good idea maybe to put some royal icing down or just over the dowels, but in this case, because the cake is actually moist, I'm just going to let it go as it is.
Well, it's looking very pretty.
Okay.
And considering you've had a very stressful night, Jules, I'm not sure you'll ever want to come back
No.
again. But next time, we'll make sure
I'll think about that one. Right.
all is well.
Okay, so again, what we're going to do is we're going to set the cradle at an angle. Okay, so I think we're going to put a dowel in the centre and one there and one there, and we're going to do exactly the same as what we did before, and we're just going to mark the dowel there. Can you see that there? And then where the black line is, we're just going to cut onto that black line. Now, there's going to be quite a lot of weight, although there's not a lot of weight on it at the moment. By the time we get the drapes on,
Yeah.
there is going to be more weight. So
Yeah.
I'm going to put one there. This is unusual for me to do it like this, but obviously you've got to take into consideration of the shape of the
it.
cake.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm just going to put another one the other side. So I'm just going to mark that. Okay, and we're going to put one there. All right, and I think it'll look nice at an angle.
So I know it's been a bit of a nightmare, but we've had a great night. Jules has got a very long journey
I'll be
home.
saying that when I'm driving on the M6.
So do make sure you give her those thumbs up and let
Okay.
her know how much you appreciate her.
All right, so literally that is going to go on the cake like that.
Yeah,
Okay, and
super.
I think that'll be nice to have it at that angle so we can see the baby.
Yeah.
All right, okay, drapes then. We're on
So
the last
do you want to,
one.
when you're turning that, do you want to turn it so that the teddies are all the nicer teddies?
Which one?
So which way is the cake going to go?
We're going to go.
Just so you don't have a seal. Right, we're going to go that way, are we?
Yeah, we're going to go
Yeah.
that way. Okay,
Yeah, good, good.
and it's just in the centre like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Good.
All right, so I'm just going to put this out the way a minute. Just move this, put it over here, I think.
Yeah.
In fact, I do need it quite close to
Yeah,
me.
have it.
With my baby.
Yeah.
With my baby.
Yeah.
Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to get on with making the drapes. Now,
Yeah.
there's loads of drape moulds out there from China, and to be honest with you, you're just wasting your money. The best way to make drapes is to do it.
Make drapes.
Is make drapes.
I'm looking forward to this bit.
Okay.
I've never seen them made, have you?
I've actually, I must confess, I've tried them all. I've bought these cell moulds and I've bought the one from the Chinky Chinaman. And to be honest with you, when I actually seen the one on the internet from China, I thought, oh God, that's fab. And when it came, it was just absolutely load of rubbish.
They always are rubbish when they turn up, aren't they?
So I am using Renshaw's flour and modelling paste here, and what I'm going to mix it with is I'm going to mix it with a bit of Renshaw's normal icing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to push that in, like that. Okay. My favourite things are bows, drapes and swags.
Yeah.
And the cushion effects, because I just think there's so many options that you can do and so many different designs that you can use. Right, okay, so I want my little rolling pin that's there. Okay, and I'll need some corn flour. Okay, so I'm just
So will you be
roll
having a
this in.
stiff drink when you get home later,
I don't drink,
Jules?
Carol.
Do you not drink? Oh, I
No,
don't drink.
no,
Oh,
no.
look at that. Yeah, I
Well,
don't drink a
I
drop.
can't say I don't drink, but put it this way: the last drink I had was when I was in Rome in December. So
Right.
I'm not a drinker at all.
Yeah. And is that by personal choice or? I'm allergic to alcohol, you see.
It just doesn't bother me
No.
whatsoever. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make this as
Well, that
thin
saves
as
John's
possible.
gin then, didn't it?
So I'm going to roll this as thin as I can. Well, not really thin, but I want it so it looks like silky drapes. Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit of black there. I don't know where all these bits are coming from. Okay. And if you ever do get bits in your icing, a Schreiber pin is a must.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is that's why it's so important to wear white.
Yes.
And never wear any woolen clothes, because if
No.
you wear it like that, I don't know where that's coming from. Because if you wear woolen clothes, the particles off your clothes go onto your
Everywhere.
icing.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because you think that they're not coming off, but they do, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and you see them in your icing.
Yeah.
So I always wear whites. Okay. All right, we're about as thin as we want it to be. Now, because obviously we're running late now, I'm going to try and do as many drapes as I can. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plonk that there, and I'm going to bring in my little pizza cutter, and I'm just going to cut that off there, and I'm just going to cut that off there. Let's widen this out a bit so we've got an even, more or less an even surface, and we'll see how many we can do with this. Right, let's get rid of all those lines. Okay, got a bit thinner there, but not hey-ho. Right, move that to one side. Okay, can I just reach my dowels there? Yeah. Okay, doesn't matter how many you want to do, you can do 5 or 6. So what I tend to do, in fact, let's do 5 and it'll make it a bit quicker. So I've got 5 dowels here, and I'm going to literally place them like that in a row, okay? And then I'm going to take my icing and I'm literally going to just place it on the top, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
4,
like that idea, don't
5.
you?
Never would have thought that.
Okay, and
No.
just keep going over it and over it,
That's sneaky, isn't it?
over it. And
Did you come
over
up with
it.
that idea?
I don't know. I don't know. Yes, I think I did. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure.
That's good, isn't it?
I just know that I started doing it with dowels, and it just gets the best results.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do swags that way, if you normally use 3 dowels, because it depends on how deep your cake is, but for a 3-inch deep cake, if you do use 3 dowels, you'll form a nice swag. And doing it this way, you will get your swags exactly the same every single time. Okay, so what I'm going to do...
What do you all think, everybody? Hey?
That is like a full-on,
Isn't it?
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
God moment.
Yeah,
So-
it is.
I'm just going to cut to the edge there, And then I do use a pizza cutter quite a lot. I do find them handy. Just a regular pizza cutter, and I'm just going to cut just the edge there. Okay, I'm going to move that away, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go the other side. Okay, and I'm going to move that away. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start bringing it together.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm applying pressure at both ends. Keep it onto the dowels, keep it in, keep it in, keep it in, keep on pressing, keep on going over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just going to snip that off a bit more so it's even. Okay, and then bring it in and bring it in and bring it in, and all of a sudden you can see the dowels are nearly together. All right, and these set really.
I have to say, I'm very impressed.
Yeah, very.
It's a shame. It's just a shame we could not have done this live, but never mind.
But I'm really impressed.
Okay, so we're going to take them to the side, and just remember this, because I have actually taken them out and had a cake behind me in the past. So just a little tip, take them away from you, and it does set rather quickly. What I would normally do is I'll take that away and I'll work on another one, but these will set. We can use these straight away. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take.
I love the confidence.
They will. So I'm just going to take the dowels out like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm just going to move it round like that. Now, where's my ruler?
Yeah,
A ruler. Okay, so we've got 3 inch deep. So we want to take the swag so into there, so we've got 1 inch, and then we've got 3 inch, and then we want to take the swag so it drapes like sort of round the cake.
Yeah.
So we're going to have 1 inch, 3 inches, 4, and if we go for 5 inch drapes, we should be about there. Any bit that goes on the edge there, I'm not so worried about that because we're going to cover that up. So I'm just going to measure 5 inches. Just going to cut that off there. Okay. And literally, I'm going to pick that up like that, and I'm literally going to drape it. And that's the only trouble, I can't get under the camera here.
It's all right, don't worry.
Okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some glue there.
How can we get to see that?
Okay.
Right. Let's see how we can get to see this
So
now,
this is where I
Jules.
need more room now.
What do we need to move? Come on, let's get it all moved. Let me move.
Because I need the room for this, you see.
Right, let me move this over here. We can move everything. Don't worry. We're all on it. Hey, if you like this, they're all watching there. Look, everybody's hands in now.
Right, let's move this over then. And if we can bring the cake into here. Is that all right there or not?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a bit more difficult when I want some glue now. So I want a brush and the glue. And we're literally just going to glue this on, okay? Okay, so just put some glue on there. We can glue all the way around. This is why I weren't so bothered about the edging on this in the beginning. And we're going to take that and we're just going to place that on the edge there on the corner, and we're just going to bring it down and in, and all of a sudden we've got a nice drape. Now this bit here we're going to cut off, so we need to trim that. So we'll measure again, so we'll go 5 inches again. Okay, and we're just going to bring that there and again there, and just tuck that one round like that.
I have to say, those drapes are beautiful, aren't they?
Amazing, absolutely amazing.
I've got to come over and watch it. They're beautiful.
Okay, I'm going to trim that off in a minute because we're going to have like a little blanket in there. All right, so we'll get 3 out of this, and just push that in. Got a little hair there. Okay. And we'll do 5 inches again. Okay, and just push it there, bring it there, and then just push that one underneath, and just bring that one in like that. And there we go, we've got drapes going round.
Fantastic.
Like okay, I think we're going to take us about 3 times to do this.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll just move it round, and we'll just push that in so they're all even. Okay.
Dowels again.
So back with your dowels again. I do think the more dowels that you use, the better effect that you'll get, and obviously you'll get a wider effect. So can I just move that out of the way again, and I'll bring it in again when we need it. Okay, so the same again. Got a bit of cake lace in there. Lots a bit of cake lace between frames.
Absolutely. There's better cake lace everywhere.
Yeah, I know. You can tell I'm used to working in a massive space, can't you? I'm like, ah! Oh, look, we've got cake lace in here. This is not good.
We've got one.
We've got cake lace in the actual modelling paste. I don't know how that's happened. There we go. Right. I don't think we can do anything about that unless I make some fresh stuff. There's loads of it in it. Oh my goodness, where's all this come from?
Where's what come from?
There's loads of cake lace in it.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah. It's just suddenly appearing though, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, there's a massive big strip down here as well.
Look, it's all in this as well. It must have been on there. Oh. You know what?
Do you know when you said you were coming again, Jules?
Yeah.
It's just going to be one of them, innit? Okay, let's make some fresh. Keep that away from me.
Well, what I will be saying, Jules, is that everyone's going to be living your life.
Apart from me.
Yeah. It's been challenging for you, but you know what, you've done it.
Right. I don't know how that lace has got into there like that. So I'll make some fresh, because if we're going to do it, we'll do it right. I ain't no quitter.
It's a good job, isn't it?
even at the age of 51. Okay. Please, go away, lace. Yeah, I've tried all ways to do swags and drapes, and I do feel, and especially like if you're doing a wedding cake and you're draping like that, you know, you can get them to look so lovely.
Yeah.
And with a bit of PME luster spray on them at the ends, you
Ooh,
really
nice.
give them a nice
Yeah.
shimmer, as if like they're silky soft.
What were you saying before about your arms?
Oh, well, I know my middle name's Popeye. Never get any back wings anyway doing this. Well, hang on, they're not that bad at the minute. Right, okay. So let's move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. All right, and we're going to bring our dowels in. So our 5 dowels in again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, bring them a bit closer. All right, we're just going to push that onto there like so, and then literally go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And
Absolutely love that
and
idea.
if anybody asks, you do not do this with normal fondant because it just won't work.
Yeah, tear and everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's got to be done with a modelling paste.
Yeah.
This is just for the record. This is Renshaw's flour paste and normal fondant put together, and it's a nice consistency, and they will dry nice.
It's fantastic.
Okay, get your pizza cutter. Okay, just there. And once you get on a roll with them, you can actually do them quite quick. What I normally do is I put that one up there, and then I make another one, and then I'll go back to that one, put it on. That's what I normally do, and I think it helps as well. I don't know whether you sell these, Carol, but these long dowels are fabulous for doing this.
I don't, actually, our longer ones are fatter, aren't they? Are they?
No, I think that they 12-inch.
No, these are 16.
16. We've
Oh.
got 16
In fact,
inch
I think they're
back.
18
Yeah,
inch.
they
I
are
think they're
wide,
18
yeah.
inch these.
Yeah. We do sell a selection of
Yeah,
ours, though.
they are 18 inch.
Yeah.
Okay, so same again. Whew. Right, so I'm just going to move. Oh, let's just bring it forward. So we're going to start bringing it in now. You just got to be careful when you're bringing it in that they're not raising too much
Pushing
high
up,
off the
yeah.
dowel. So you just keep pushing it down, bringing it in, bringing it in, bringing it in, bringing it in, keep doing it, and if they start to rise, just go over them again. Okay, in. That one's coming up slightly, you can see. And just push that back in again. Always get one, the bugger. Okay, and we're nearly there. All right. Okay. All right.
Fantastic.
So just going to move it to the side. And as I say, like, you can do them pretty quick because this is setting. Obviously, if I just pulled this up now, it would,
yeah.
you know, it would come apart. But as long as you just take the dowels out like that. Okay, and we're going to put there. Okay, I'm just going to bring this round and I'm going to bring the cake in. Now, if you was to do a long dowel now, a long drape,
yeah.
and it was to go all the way down your cake, you literally would pick it up from one end to another.
Yeah.
And because it is modelling paste, it won't break. Okay, so we're going to bring our cake back in now. Right. And we're just going to glue that. Just don't get lace on that. I don't know what happened last time. Okay, and we're just going to glue this round.
The one with your laces over there.
Okay, and we're just going to measure this one again. So let's just do a straight line there, and we had 5 inches last time. So we've got 5 inches again. There we go. And we're just going to pull that up and just place
Just
it
love
over.
it, don't you?
Yeah, it's, I never would have imagined
No.
how you did it like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just push that in and put that under so it tucks under like that. And any excess that we've got at the top, I'm going to trim all that off in a minute.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Okay, but you've got perfect drapes going on there.
Absolutely. They're absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
I actually think they're the nicest drapes I've seen.
I've tried doing them all way, and believe me, you can try, you know, there are some things that you can shortcut, but I
Yeah.
think to get drapes
Yeah.
to look like this, you've got to do it that way. Okay, so we're going to go 5 inches again, and we're just going to pull the end, and we're just going to pick it up like that, and we're just going to place it on like that. So, and as we place it on there, we're just going to push it in carefully, like that, just lift it up. There we go. And just place that round. Okay. I'll turn it round again. And I think one more lot, and we might do it. Okay, so we'll measure that again. Get some glue, and we can start from this end if you want. Doesn't really matter on that end. It's easy for you on this end, isn't it? Okay, and I have actually forgot to ice glue under there, so just glue under there to bring it down. And also for transportation, this is actually providing quite a lot of stability, because this, when this dries, it will, you know, it will keep it together. All right, so we're just pushing that in like that, like so, like that. Okay. And then just push
What's
it
the most
in.
popular cake that you make?
I don't know.
Well, what cakes do you make the most? Wedding cakes?
I mean, I do make a lot of wedding cakes. I make a lot of baby shower cakes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether it's because I've got 3 girls of my own, but I love doing pretty cakes. I love doing christening cakes. I love things like this because I know that the end of it, it's going to look really, really fab.
And it's so different.
I do a lot of bows.
Yeah.
On my tutorial group, they've nicknamed it the Julie bow.
Right.
Which you'll see in a minute. I'll do a bow in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully the last 3 then, we should be able to do this. And then what we'll do is we'll just cut round there, just get rid of all that piece in the middle, and then we'll make a little mattress. And then we'll
Well, would you have to get rid of all that then? Would you make
because I want it neat round the edge, and I want that to come up to it. Okay, I don't want it to sit sort of up against it.
Right. See, there's me for the rustic look
just
again.
leave it.
I'll be there, I was fine then.
I'm getting hot now. I'm hot.
I bet you are. I'm knackered watching.
I'm knackered watching me. Right, okay. Same again. Right, so let's just bring those dowels in. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, it would be nice if we got them a bit thinner than this, but you don't want to make them too thin because obviously we are pressing down, and it could break. You don't want the dowel to come through the icing, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so just on there. Okay, so 1. Now if they're too close, just move them. So you want to be able to get your fingers down them in between. So again, that's moved. Okay. Come on. There we go. Where's it gone? It's moved, that one. There we go. That's it. Is that bugger? It's attached. They like each other. Right. So just over and over and over again. Keep going over. And you can smooth it out. And as I say, with a bit of lustre spray, they really do look like silky soft. Okay. And just cut to there. And just cut to there. Move that out of the way. Just move there. And we got there. Okay. And just, again, get that straight. Short. Just bring it together. Keep rubbing them down over and over and over. Bringing it in. Bringing it in. That one's had a mare because I've cut it a bit short. You are actually better off leaving a bit of a ridge this side and that side. I've cut that one a bit short, so what's happening is when I'm trying to pull it in, it's coming off the dowel. So just keep going, nearly there.
Would you notice it though when you squeeze it all in together?
No, you won't notice. Just me, being an arse.
We get like that though, we get very critical, don't we? And that's why I would hate to be professional. I quite like it. I just get on doing my own thing, and then
I'm just going to pull those out quickly, and we'll have enough here to finish the crib.
I admire you girls who do it professionally all the time.
Okay, let's just cut that one off because I've made the balls of that one. Okay, and we'll just go 5 inches again. And we'll bring the cake in. The turntable's quite handy for this as well. And then we'll just glue along there, and we'll have enough here to do that, and put a bit of glue along there as well. Okay, and we'll just go into there like so. Just push that down there, open it out slightly, and just push that in and that under. Oh, might have enough with just 2. Okay, we'll go 5 inch again. And the last one. There we go. Just push that down a bit. So it's in there. We've lost a pearl. Be the death of me. Okay. And then if we turn it back round, where were we? We were going to go this way. We were. We're going to go that way like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my knife and I'm just going to cut round here.
Can you get it, Shell?
Got it. Sorry.
It's okay. You have to be contortionist doing this, don't you? I don't know how you and Maria do it. Yeah, I'd hate to do it everywhere. Well, you've got to try and think what they're going to do, aren't you?
Okay, I'm just going to.
But everybody does appreciate what you and Maria do.
Okay, bring that out.
Got it all now.
Yeah, don't have a strap on there.
Oh no, I'm not.
I've done the teenager.
It is funny because you come round one side and then they go and change sides.
Okay, so then we've got more or less even there. So what I'm going to do now is, because we don't need any more for drapes, I'm just going to use this bit here.
Yeah.
I'll leave that there and we'll make a little necklace. Okay, and we'll just do it out of the overcutters that we've got. Now we could do a pink one, actually. No, we'll do a white one. So all we're going to do, because we're not going to see this anyway, so we're just going to roll a bit of modelling paste. And we have that's too big. I bought another one in,
You did?
a small
Where
one.
is it? That is,
There it is, right in front of me. So we're just going to check that that's going to go in nicely, which it is. Okay. Now, if you wanted to frill the edges, you could do, but in fact, yes, I will. Have you got a little, oh, I can't think now, Matt. Square mats, I can't think, sponge one.
A foam mat.
Yes!
A foam pad.
in the cupboard behind you, if you can reach.
Do you know how I like it?
She's funny, isn't she?
I like that. If you can reach. No, I can't reach.
Yeah,
It's
we've got
very,
new-
very
yeah,
light.
We've got new ones in.
Oh, that'll do,
Yeah,
that'll do. Okay. So,
We've just started selling these. These are sugar and crumbs ones.
so we'll just do a little frill around the edge, look. Just backwards and forwards.
We got there in the end.
Backwards. I just couldn't think. My brain just stopped for a minute there.
We're just looking at you.
There's a glue.
The worst of it was you understood what I was going on about. Bit of sign language. Okay, and we're literally going to just put that in there like that, look, and it
That
just
looks
covers
lovely,
it
doesn't
there.
it?
So we'll glue that in. Okay, we're just going to put it in.
I wish I was inventive and could think of
I
things
know,
like this. I
I'm
can't think of
rubbish.
anything like
Okay.
this.
All right, so now we want to put the baby in at some point. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it a little pillow. So let's do her a little pillow. Should we do it in white?
Yeah, and you're going to use the mould for that.
Bringing in the mould, yeah. So bringing in the Karen Davis mould that we used earlier for the baby, all I'm going to do is literally roll a piece up in a ball, she said. Okay, I did actually grease it earlier on, so I'm just going to place that in like that. Now with the pillow, I find that if you can more or less get it the size of the actual mould, although that is slightly raised, but it doesn't matter, I'm not going to cut it off unless I've got a long sharp knife, I can't do it with that. But you can just, it's generally easier to get out, but really that should be flat. In fact, can I do it flat?
Do you want a sharp knife, a long sharp knife?
Let's try it with this. But the only trouble is because the frill on the pillow, if you take it too far back,
Yeah, you can cut the frill.
you'll cut the frill. So I think that's about it
Yeah.
up there. Let's just push that in. Okay. All right, and we're just going to pop that out. Come on, be my friend.
There it goes.
There we go. Ooh, there we go. Okay, and we'll just place that in
I've
there.
never actually seen this mould in action.
Yeah,
have
it's
you?
fab. Look, there we go.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so let's bring down our little baby. Now it's getting really, really late. Do I have to colour her in?
No.
Okay, we're just going to place the baby there for now.
She's
all right?
fine.
Okay, we should give her some eyes and a bit of colour in her cheeks. But so we're just going to put a little pink cover, a white cover over her. And I'm going to use the patchwork cutter to do this. So, roll it out again. Now, taking into consideration the size of it, now I think we need this one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it and I'm going to fold it back, okay, but before I do that I'm going to literally just imprint this onto the icing.
Do you want me to get it out?
Yes. I'm losing the
It's getting
water
very
there.
late, isn't it?
Getting really late. Getting really late. Maybe the smaller one actually.
There you go.
No, that is the smaller one. Okay, so I'm literally going to just press that onto the icing there. Now, you make sure you press it first, because if you cut your shape out and then press it on, it's going to take it out of shape. You could use this obviously for the side of your cake if you wanted to, which is really, really nice. I'm just going to take that up, she says. I should put some corn flour on it. Okay, and what it's done, if you can see that, can you see that there? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to literally cut that out there. Okay, now taking into consideration that this is going to fold back, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to imprint the other side, just slightly, okay, and then when it folds back, you got that there, okay, and
We're
we're just
learning
going
things
to put
here,
that.
aren't we?
Now if you wanted to, like we did with the other one, let's give it a little bit of a frill, shall we? So we'll just go out a little bit like this. just backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards.
I think the frill makes it look nicer.
Yeah.
And it's good to have it quite thick if you're going to do this as well, because you can really like push in backwards and forwards and make it look like a frill.
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay, now taking into consideration we're going to fold it back. So let's just do this bit here. And it will make it slightly larger, so it will go over the baby. And we're just going to fold that off like that. There we go. How beautiful is that? Oh, she's
Very
living.
nice.
Right, we're going to glue her down. Glue her bottom. Okay. Now we could put a baby bonnet on there. We could colour her cheeks in. Do a hair on there. I don't know whether you want me to have a go at doing the hood on this. But should we do a bow first before we go any further? So I'm just going to put that aside and I'm going to make a bow. Alright, so should we do a pink bow or a white bow?
I think a bit of pink, me.
Bit of pink?
Yeah.
Okay, let's put this away then.
So to make the hood then, what would you need to make the hood?
Just modelling paste, but it's getting it to set, that's the thing. But I normally what I would normally do is I would cut a circle, frill the edge, and then I would cut it at the back. So make a circle, straighten the back, then put that there, and then you need to put, I normally put a ball in or something like that, a polystyrene ball. And I forgot to bring them, and I actually went into Wigan today to try and go and get some makeup wedges. Are fabulous.
Right. Oh, I've got some of them. Yeah.
I didn't have any in here.
Oh, in fact, I haven't got them. I gave them away to someone.
Okay, so I'm going to put a bit of white into this, although the pink is quite nice. I find that if you actually put a bit of normal paste fondant into it, the bows just set better and they tend not to crack. So I'm just making this slightly lighter. Sorry, I'm making this sound. I do want to put that in the thing because otherwise. Okay, so if we just move that slightly there, get that out of the way. Should tidy up really. I normally tidy up after everything I do, but it's getting really, really low now. Okay.
It's like this after every live.
Right, so to make a bow then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, in fact, let me just mix that a bit more because you've got a few white lines in it from the modelling paste. There we go, that should be okay now. Alright, so I'm going to make a bow and I'm going to make it in one piece. Okay, now I always make my bows around about 11 inches long. Okay, depending on how wide you want it, that is literally up to you how big your bow you're going to be. I'm going to use a wooden cutter here, and I think it's about 2.5 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to open that up, put that onto the largest one, and clip that to there. Okay, and then I'm going to cut a piece like that. Okay, I'm going to get rid of those straggly bits because I haven't cut it very well. And as I say, about 11 inches is about nice for this. So I'm going to just cut the ends with a pizza cutter, and if I measure that, it should be. There we go, took some off. Okay. Alright, with my ribbon cutter, not my ribbon cutter, my stitching tool. There it is. Now you can emboss this if you want, but obviously if you're going to emboss it then it will go thinner, so you've got to start it off thicker. Now I always find when you do a stitching, you always have the side that you're going to do, so the outside should be to the left of you, so you can see over it. If you go like that, and so you're looking over that way, you'll go off. Yeah. So I always turn it round, although she says I've not done that very well, but hey ho. Right, so I'm just going to put that to the edge there. All right, so this is going to be our bow. So what I'm going to do, the right side up, I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm just going to make a little mark there, okay? And then I'm going to turn it over like that. And then I'm going to get a little bit of glue, or you can use royal icing, okay? And where I've marked that line on the wrong side, I'm just going to put a bit of glue down there. And I'm going to pinch that up to there, like that, okay? Like that, so it forms that sort of shape. Now, at the other end, I'm going to put a bit of glue there, and I'm going to put a bit of glue there. And I'm just going to fold it into me, like that, okay? And the same towards me and back out. All right, this is where the kitchen roll comes in. So, I'm going to get some kitchen roll. These are posh, these are small ones. Right, 2 big ones.
And I don't know where I got them from.
I know.
They're great, aren't they?
They are brilliant.
Okay.
I know, you just pick them up by accident, don't you?
Right, so what I've got is, this is actually a normal size kitchen towel piece if it was open. Okay, so I'm going to fold it. I'm going to fold it again, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll, okay? And I'm literally going to put that into there, and I'm just going to pinch that up, okay? And the same the other side. Okay.
That's where they try and flog you 600 sheets as opposed to 300, isn't it?
Double,
But you still get the same.
Okay. And I find the best thing is to use tissue, because it doesn't mark.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you just push that into the middle like that, and then that forms your bow. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that there, and I've got a little square piece there which I'm going to use. But this bit I want it to be quite thin. Okay, I'm just going to do this freehand. I'm going to get my pizza cutter, and I'm going to cut a straight line there. I'm going to cut a straight line there, and then I'm going to get my glue, turn it over, get my glue there and there, and then I'm just going to pinch that over there, fold that over there. Now, a bow doesn't have to be perfect, the centre, but you know, if you can get it fairly straight, but don't worry if it's not. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a dowel, and I'm going to place it on the dowel, so the right side is up, and I'm literally, like I did with the swag, I've got a bit of glue on my hands, I'm literally going to go like that, okay? Alright, I'm going to bring my bow back in. Now, ideally you want to leave this for a little while, okay, but we are doing it quite quick. And I'm just going to put the glue there, okay, and once that is set, I'm going to pick that up, and I'm going to take it like that. So it's, she says, hang on a minute, just open it back up, okay, get it a bit even. There we go. I normally leave it on there and just pick it up like that, and I'm just going to place that onto there like that, and it gives it that little pleated look. Move that over like so, and then I'm going to glue it. So just be careful when you're doing it. I'm just going to glue that down there like that, and then I'm going to glue that just there like that. Okay, and that's the back of your bow. And then I'm going to bring it round, okay, and that's your bow.
That's clever.
Alright, so what I'm going to do, before I put that on, I'm going to make a drape. So let's get the pink back in. So what we'll do is we'll bring some tails down while that's setting. And this can go straight onto the cake. You can, I normally stick them on with some royal icing or something like that. So I'll just leave that one there. So I'm just going to make some tails. Same again. I've got little bits in this again.
You're flying. You're on speed, you, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right.
That's how I've done that
Think you
before.
want to go home and go to bed?
I feel a bit shaky actually, but I think it's because I've not really eaten much, that's why.
I did offer Jules some tea. I said to her when she comes in, do you want some tea? She went,
She
no.
had a cup of tea. Well, that's not like just. Oh, can you just answer that? That's my partner. She's just wondering where I am. Right. Okay. So, taking into consideration that the size of your bow, I think if we go half, we've got 1.5 pieces. So we're about 1.5 inches there. She'll be wondering where I am. Okay, and we're just going to do 2 strips.
They are such a useful tool, those aren't
I
they?
know, I love them. Okay, so I think if we make them both the same length, we've got big straggly ends. I think that's the thing with these tables as well. You really need to like, press hard.
Yeah.
Whereas because I'm used to working on stainless steel.
Yeah.
She think I've left her.
Yeah, she's fine.
She'll be worried. She worries.
She said to me, "Oh, you're all right, love. No, it's me, Carol."
Right.
She's wondering who the hell is Carol.
So what we're going to do is, oh, actually, this would have been big enough, so we didn't need it to be this big. So what we'll do is we'll just cut. I was thinking that I was taking it from that here, so we'll just cut it from there, and again we'll stitch both sides as if it's exactly the same as the bow. So we'll go this side and this side, and then always turn it round so the side that you're doing is nearest you. As I say, if you start looking over, then it'll go a bit skew with. Well, I normally find it goes skew with anyway, maybe it's just me. Okay, so let's measure them up. So we'll go, I think we'll go about there, and we'll go about there. Okay, we're going to take this from here, and we're just going to measure it so it's there. All right, so I think that's nice because we'll be able to take it sort of like that, and then we're just going to cut a little V in there, 1, 2, okay, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to take this down there so we've got a little crease, and we'll have it about there. Okay,
Fantastic.
so we've just put a bit of glue there where we're going to have it, so if the baby's there, we'll do a central bow just there. All right,
Looks good, Jules. Looks
we'll
good.
just have that there like that, and we can glue this down, and I like to bring them sort of out, and then what I'll do is I'll put a little sponge under so it like looks a bit more real, you know. And the same again the other side. Okay, and you can glue that there. Put a bit too much glue on there. All right, and then we'll just glue that there like that. Okay. All right, and then we're going to take our bow. So let's get a bit of oil icing. Now, if I turn my bow back over and keeping the sponges inside, I've got a bit of oil icing in there, and I'm just doing this really, really quickly now. Okay. Not having it. It said get lost. It's late. Oh, you don't want to work. All right. Picking up your bow then, keeping the sponges inside. I'm going to pick it up, look, and I'm literally going to go like this onto my cake, like that. Okay. Now, you could actually take these out.
Oh, that looks good, doesn't it?
Okay. And then bring that down. I would suggest that you leave that in for a bit longer, but to be honest with
But
you,
we're live.
look,
It looks fantastic.
It is lovely. Okay,
Yeah.
so that
looks
is the bow.
fantastic.
Now,
Well done.
what I would have liked to have done is done the hood, but it is getting really, really late, and I don't know whether it will set that quickly. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to ribbon the board. We'll spray this up.
Yeah.
And we'll put a bit of glitter on the baby.
Yeah.
Really, there should be a hood on here. So if we was to make the hood, what I would do, I'll do it quickly now, what I would do just to show you. So
And then I can put it on tomorrow.
So we'll just put it on, where's that other modelling paste that I had?
It's in there, in that bag over there.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, so if I was to make the hood, this is what I would do. So I would just roll a piece out. Now I would say it needs to be sort of like, to go over, it needs to be sort of this sort of size. Okay, about 5 or 6 inches round. So I've got, I can't believe I've got lace in this one now.
We don't care.
We don't care.
Jules.
Right, have you got a circle cutter, lovely?
Has it got to be a big circle cutter or is it?
Preferably. I've got something in it there, I don't know what that is. I don't know.
Can it have a frill on it?
Yep. Yeah, if it's got a frill on it, brilliant. There we go. Oh, yes, sir. Have a look at that size. So to measure it out then, we want it to come sort of round. So I would say that that's too small. So if we go there, okay, and then if we just cut off the bottom.
Just hang on a minute, Jules.
Sorry.
She just wants to film you doing this. Just 1 minute.
And if
We need a
bring-
new camera.
So bad. That's
Eh?
what it's called.
So bad.
These are like the ones I had, but they're different colours. Are we all right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so all I've done is I've taken, I think that's approximately a 6-inch round frill cutter,
Yeah, I
which
think
you
it
sell,
is,
don't you? And I've just cut a circle, and then what I've done is I've cut the back off to make it a straight edge. Okay, so exactly the same as what we did with the baby frill. I'm just going to go along here, okay, backwards, forwards, backwards and forwards. And you can press quite hard and you'll get a nice little frill there. Backwards, forwards, backwards and forwards, all the way, May. Okay, and we're going to leave that bottom one because we need some stability at the bottom. So, that's it. Right. Okay, so what I normally do is I would put it onto a ball for a little while, but you can put it straight on, but it will flop. But we need something to hold it up. So makeup wedges are really fab. I quite often use those. Now, if I actually held this here for a little while, so let's get some tissue. Let's go back to what we used for this, and let's see what we can do and see if we can get this to set. So I'm just going to roll this into a ball.
How big a ball?
Well,
Is
I'm
that
going
too
to
small?
yeah, I'm going to try it with this and see if we can set it on this. Right, before I do that, I'm going to turn this round because obviously we've got the drapes to go over it as well. And what I find is it will actually be better with some royal icing. So what I'm going to do is, my royal icing is here because glue slips. And this doesn't want to play. I think we've got a bit of a... No, I still don't want to come out. Come on. I don't know why this doesn't want to come out. There we go, that's better. Okay, so I'm just going to put quite a bit of royal icing on here. I'm going to put it round here and round here. And what I normally do is you have to be a bit patient with this. And it's no good doing it beforehand because you've got to get to that stage to do it. So, okay, so we'll have a go with this, and I'm going to turn this round like so. And I'm literally going to just take that, I'm going to place it on there like so. And I'm literally going to go like that. Just get this on first. It's too floppy, you see. And then take my tissue. Now I use polystyrene ball or makeup wedges are fab, and I would literally just put that on there until it sets. But you have to keep playing with it, you see, and that's what I say, it's quite... But if you keep manipulating it, sorry, it's dropped down. If you keep manipulating it, it will start to set and you'll be able to take that away. I'm just thinking of something else that we could use maybe. Because you don't want to mark the cake, that's what you don't want to do. So that ball that you had, Carol, can you just pass it me and we'll have a go?
Yeah, it's a bit smaller, unfortunately.
Powerful. Okay, and we'll just put that there, like that. And although it's not quite the right shape because I want it to come out more like that, that would actually do it, and it does look like a, you know. So if we just leave that on there, maybe if we put a bit of tissue at the sides. this side. Yeah, you've got to be a bit patient with these. And by the morning this will definitely be set. Really what you want to do is you want to mess with it a little bit as it's drying. That's what I normally do. I normally sort of go back to it every so often and just...
We won't be. We're going to bed.
Yeah. I'm glad you're going to bed because I won't be going to bed yet. Okay. All right. So basically that is it. So then we will put some ribbon around the bottom.
Do you want the turntable where I put it on?
Not yet. Okay. So I use double-sided tape for the ribbon. I don't use glue. So I'll just get this off. I am in a mess here, aren't I, girls?
Don't worry. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Oops, sorry.
And we want some scissors. Can I have those scissors, please, lovely?
You can.
Okay. Just cut that off. And some tape. So I find the easiest thing to use is double-sided tape. It's the glue and things like that. Okay, and this is just, I don't know whether you sell this, it's just, you can buy them from Hobbycraft or you can buy it from all over the place. Oh my goodness, right.
We'll leave it off now anyway, don't worry.
Okay.
We'll give them the idea. Got a runaway ball.
There we
Yeah.
go.
I'm going to run away with all. Okay. And we'll just get our tape. Sorry, I'm going to have to do it on here. And we'll literally just, there we go, all along. Make sure you pull your ribbon. There's nothing worse than a puckered ribbon. Be careful what I say there. Okay, pulling your ribbon tight. Tight. There we go. From the back and pull it along.
Neat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Make sure you pull it tight. I hate to see creases in ribbons. That's my pet hate. Okay, and there we go.
Fantastic, well done.
Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray it with a bit of PME luster spray. Okay, this is actually a large one, but they are sold in 125ml tins, which you can buy from Carol. Okay, and then hit it out, and all it does is it gives it a nice shimmer and it makes it look silky soft. Okay. Alright, and then we've got a little tiny bit of glitter.
I love the smell of it, mate.
I do.
And we'll just
isn't it?
put a
Do you
little
like the
bit of
smell of it?
glitter
Yeah, it
on
smells
there.
gorgeous.
There we go. And to be fair, I think that'll set all right nice. Okay, there's your boat. There we go.
Fantastic,
Beautiful.
Julie. Well done.
Any chance you can just spin it round and show us the full cake?
Well done.
It really is gorgeous. Well done. Well done.
23.51.
It's absolutely
Well done.
beautiful.
Okay.
Good. Right,
Right.
come on then, let's give you a big round of applause. Come on everyone, give everyone a round of applause, give her a round of applause, gotta help her. How many hours is this like now? 4 hours with all the messing about. Hasn't she done well? Absolutely, marvellously well. And in fairness to Jules is very much about working by herself. She works at speed. She can get all this done and very, very quickly. And when she does the tutorials, because there's only her in the kitchen, she's getting on with it. She's showing you everything. But because of the way that we do our lives, we're talking to you, we're asking questions, we've got a bit going on, and and we had a bit of a late start and a few other things, so it's just taken a bit longer, and it hasn't helped with the internet tonight. Yeah. So for you guys who are joining us now, we've put the whole thing together, so you'll find that there's a couple of bits of spaces through the live, but I hope you've enjoyed it. You can buy everything off the wish list off our website. There's 1 or 2 things that we don't sell, but I'm sure you'll find them elsewhere if you Google them. But nearly everything we've got, which is here. Have you enjoyed your night?
I have. This normally takes me around about 2 to 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But I do work quickly,
Yeah.
and also There's not enough space for me here. I need more space.
I think we realise that.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah.
So I think we realise that. Look at this. So excuse the ball bit.
Stunning.
Isn't it?
I know it's
Fantastic.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Mantis round there.
It's fantastic,
and that'll
isn't it?
set nicely. And that is what they call on my page the Julie bow.
It's gorgeous.
So we'll take that out, we'll take some pictures of this, we'll get it all done up nice, and then Shelley, in fairness, has done loads of videos. She'll get loads of little elements together, so she'll make the bow as one video, she'll make the cot as another one, and it'll just go on, and then she'll also put the whole thing together as a quick video as well. So please give Julie loads of thumbs up, loads of love hearts. Hope you've really enjoyed it. It's been a fantastic night. We only hope Julie comes back, because she was all about coming back before, which might not be now.
Change the
Ask me
mind.
tomorrow when I've had a good sleep.
Yeah.
I've got to drive to Birmingham tomorrow. But if anybody, if you don't mind me saying, if anybody does like to join my group, it's Cakes for You by Jules live subscriptions only, and it's £10 a month, and I do this day in, day out, from start to finish. Every
Is that what
single
it's
cake I
called?
do. Yeah.
Live subscriptions only.
Yeah.
So Cake by Jules, live subscriptions only. Pop over, I think, for a tenner a month. And how many do you do tutorials?
Well, last week, for example, I had 5 wedding cakes, and they were all 3 and 4, and I actually had 2 5-tier wedding cakes to do. So all of those were done live from start to finish. Okay.
There you go.
And
Massive value for money.
sometimes I can do, I do 2 wedding cakes a day, or I might do 3 cakes a day. It just depends on what.
And are
I've
these
got.
lives going on through the day, not through the night?
No, they're all through the night. So I start my lives normally. I don't normally do a live at the beginning of the week, because obviously I've got to have time to bake.
Yeah.
So Mondays I try and have off, although I haven't had a Monday off. This is the first one I've had off in ages.
And then you're stuck.
I know,
I wouldn't say you're having a day off today.
So Tuesdays and Wednesdays I normally bake. So the cakes that I'm doing on Tuesday, they're sort of out for Thursday, and the cakes that I'm baking on Wednesday are out for Friday. So my aim is I bake one day, I decorate the next, and they're out the next. And that's the way I work. So I try and have just 2 baking days a week, where I bake all day to Tuesday and all day Wednesday. And then
decorate.
And then I decorate, and I just go hell for leather until they're all done. And whatever happens, you have to stay, because there's no tomorrow with cakes.
No. So get over, like a page, make a friend's request, go over and join. You know you're paying a tenner a month. I think it's excellent value. So well done. Thank you for joining us.
And thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. So I've actually forgot all the things I'm meant to be telling you, but go over to the website. There's a what's new. There's the Facebook must-haves. We've changed it to Facebook must-haves now, not instead of wish list. There's offers on, so we've got offers on. The website's much more easier to work with now. We've got through all the teething problems, and our little phone hasn't been ringing so much. How have you done today, Laura?
Much, much better for a Monday.
But I hate to break this one to you. You've got a bit of problem here.
Right.
Well, you had no teething problems with your website, but you've
We've
got a
got
problem
one,
with the
I know.
internet.
Don't know what's gone on tonight, but I have to be honest, I think whatever's gone on with the internet tonight is something in the area, because even the internet off my phone wouldn't work, and we tried to log into that, and even though I disconnected us on one of them, which was one, my actual internet on my phone is not working, so there's something going on locally, so I don't know what that is. Having said that, there's been a massive big fire down the road. And
Yeah,
Well, they've just gone through the lines.
yeah. The car showroom's been on fire all day, so I don't know whether that could have burned power lines. I don't know.
Earlier on, yeah.
So
I did
you
see
just
that
don't
on the
know,
news.
do you, if it affects anything. I'm not saying that's it, but you just don't know, dear. But anyhow, that's us done. We're going to bed. Night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.